Wait, crayons? Don't talk about crayons. Crayons? Crayons? Oh, jingle bell, joy reaped, lies smell like Don Lemon lay some eggs. Roland Martin slipped at the buffet, and the shield still lie to your face.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my god. I'm done with life and it's all Jermaine's fault! It's always Jermaine's fault! I'm done!
What's good, everyone? AB, sorry, excuse me. AB Media 83 here, and welcome to the Colosseum. Welcome to Colosseum Night. Tonight's episode is called Suit Up. 2026 is coming. We only have 2 weeks left in 2025. It's been one hell of a year. We have a new president. Unfortunately, I lost my best friend, and all kinds of crazy crap has happened. And don't worry, we have a jam-packed show today. We have a lot to cover. Apparently, Candace Owens woke up yesterday and chose violence. And we're going to talk about why she chose violence yesterday. And yeah, she told somebody literally on air, F you. We're going to cover that first. Then we're going to cover, we got to talk about Butthurt Blue for a little bit. Evidently, they were supposed to do an autopsy at the Democratic National Committee, and they decided to withhold the report. And the infamous Roly Poly has a theory on why they don't even do the report. There don't need to be no autopsy. Well, I'm gonna give my own autopsy a little later.
Beep, beep, beep. Yes, master. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep.
Don't worry, I'll give my own autopsy later. Let me see if Snowman's still alive. I might go ahead and because he's covering the Packers and hold on, wait a minute, let me look. It doesn't look like he's live. It looks like the Packer game has yeah. It's okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get started. If you brothers want to come up, you can do so now. Just give me a second. Let's go to copy. Excuse me. Paste. There's the link if you brothers want to come up. But let's get started. We're getting started. Evidently, Charlie Kirk's old group, the Turning Point USA, had a conference. And the conference was full of controversy, obviously. So let's take a look.
Turning Point USA's America Fest kicked off, and it was not without controversy. there were multiple jabs that were taken, of course, towards Candace Owens. Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson took jabs.
Oh, yes, and Candace Owens claps back hard. Yeah, we gonna cover that today.
Jabs at each other. And as someone on the left, I'm just sitting back and I'm watching all of this and I'm laughing like my ass off, right? At the same time, I do have to say this. I think that Tucker Carlson,
as somebody that's independent, yeah, this is quite interesting.
Carlson came away as the big winner last night. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, it started off a little bit, convoluted. At the very beginning, they were having technical problems. Erica Kirk was not able to use her iPad, so she decided to wing it. I kid you not, ladies and gents. Let's get started with this clip here. Erica Kirk starts off Turning Point USA's America Fest. Oh, gosh. Get your popcorn ready.
It's really interesting.
For those you don't know, this is Charlie Kirk's wife, widow.
The enemy has thrown a lot of curveballs at us today and this week and the past 3 months. And one of them is the fact that my entire speech has been wiped because my iPad won't even turn on. So that's a fun technical difficulty that we can figure out.
It's interesting. She says the enemy, and for those who are not aware, that's something that, people of Christian faith will say sometimes when things are not going well, but it can also be looked at a different
Yep, I can confirm that
way. Instead of the enemy, it could just be, I don't know, God. Maybe that's God. Look at God work. I don't know.
Yep.
So we're just going to wing it. We're just going to wing it. I was going to share with you stats. I was going to share with you all of the things that we have going on building. So I'm going to just start it off with.
Okay.
With this. So last year, Charlie, I'll rewind. AmFest is Charlie's Super Bowl. Thank you.
We have the snowman in the building. What's going on, snowman? I think we have the snowman in the building. Snowman, you there? I hear something.
I am here.
Okay. How's it going?
There we go. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I forgot something totally important. I was working in OBS trying to do a couple things, and I forgot I had OBS open. Yeah. New Year's Day. My first broadcast of 2026 will be the Alabama Crimson Tide against the Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh, that happens on New Year's Day? Well, okay.
4:00.
So I got the stats, no speech. So again, we're going to wing it.
Shout out to the Tide. They came back and won that game.
Man, the Tide put it to them after the first quarter.
I guess they remind people we still Alabama, daggone it.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
Yeah, and they got a tough matchup on New Year's Day.
Don't be surprised if it's a track meet.
So AmFest last year, Charlie reminded me that this was his Super Bowl. And for those of you who are sitting in the back, my husband was very intentional about making sure he was in the back because he wanted to sit in what he considered maybe the worst seat in the arena. And he made it a point to listen to the whole intro video, every speaker video, and he would tell the team, louder, more bass, more noise. He would say, there's a treble and a bass knob, turn the ones to make it right. So even if you feel like you're in the worst seat in the house, you're not, because Charlie's sitting one of those. So you're in good company up there.
Oh boy.
But what's also very
Yeah, she definitely winging this. But we're gonna skip a little ahead because I want to get to the part where that made Candace Owens go off.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she does go off.
Israel. There are conservatives that are a part of the MAGA movement that really meant it when they said focus on Americans here and they said America first. And so people like Ben Shapiro have now been backed into a corner because they preached a lot of this rhetoric for years, and now they are being inconsistent because they're trying to defend Israel. So Ben Shapiro, I think, came out as a big loser for the opening night of America Fest. We'll get to the Tucker Carlson part, but you'll see what I mean when we get to that part.
That does not mean that the attack wasn't horrible for the Americans involved, that it wasn't bloody and terrible. The Israeli government paid reparations to the people who were killed. If you look at the actual military record of what happened on the USS Liberty, it was clearly a mistaken
point, are going to create this red wall. They are out a little bit later, but let's move on to Ben Shapiro.
Now, Ben Shapiro is the reason Candace Owens goes off. If you don't, for those of you who don't know, Ben Shapiro used to be Candace Owens's former employer. And she got fired because she basically said, well, she went against so-called Israel. And I said what I said, so-called Israel, because she said, well, a genocide is a genocide. And what Israel did to the Palestinians is a genocide.
Once again.
So Ben Shapiro also spoke. Of course, he did so in his Ben Shapiro way. One of the things that he was approached about was...
By the way, for the record, and I mean this with from the bottom of my heart, you know as well as I do, Snowman, I disagree with Butthurt Blue on a lot of things.
Yes.
But one thing I think we can all agree on is this phrase right here. Fuck Ben Shapiro.
No lies in that statement, and I agree with that also 100%.
As the U.S.
as
Liberty.
To use something I use on my morning show, which will be an award-winning show this coming year, folks. Ben Shapiro, you a bitch.
Yes, he is a bitch.
And you guys have got to hear his response to...
And Candace always roast him like a bitch in the next segment.
This.
You cited during your speech truth as the most important tenet of American conservatism. Why, therefore, did you call irrelevant the Israeli attack in 1967 on the USS Liberty, which left dozens of American servicemen dead and hundreds wounded?
See, quiet as a kid. See, say what you want about Charlie Kirk. His following is a group of people who ask questions, who ask real questions. And as you can see, Ben Shapiro ain't prepared.
So what I actually said,
phrase in all of this, real questions,
is that if we're looking at modern Israeli-American relations, looking at an attack that happened mistakenly by multiple Navy reports.
Yeah, Ben, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Nice try.
Multiple Israeli reports, and all available evidence, and using that attack in order to undermine today's relations between Israel and America, that's irrelevant. As irrelevant as it would be to cite a piece of evidence from World War II or from 1776 to define America.
Hold on, wait a minute. It would be irrelevant to mention something from World War II, so the Holocaust was irrelevant? Really, Ben?
Who told
really?
This lie?
His relations with, for example, Great Britain or Germany today.
No. No, Ben. You can't do that. You are showing yourself. This is your inconsistency because you have no problem at looking at things that happened in the past when it comes to the Holocaust. So no. You don't get to play that game now. Now you don't get to say, well, this is irrelevant U.S. liberty doesn't matter. It happened in the past. By the way, it was also an accident. Yeah, of course he's going to say that, right? No, 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 no. This is what I was saying before about Ben Shapiro and his inconsistency. This whole facts don't care about your feelings. All of a sudden, we saw this year with the blow.
He's right. Facts don't care about our feelings, and they don't care about his feelings either. He's learning that now.
Back against Israel, that according to Ben Shapiro, apparently his feelings really do matter. And apparently to him, the facts don't really matter. So you don't get to play that game now. So they are calling Ben Shapiro out on his BS and his inconsistency. Again, this is America Fest. You know, back in the past, from what I understand, all of these speakers were more aligned and more, you know, in sync with each other. But there is that divide because of Israel. There are conservatives that are against what Israel is doing and don't want U.S. money going to Israel.
Yep.
There are conservatives that are a part of the MAGA movement that really meant it when they said focus on Americans here and they said America first. And so people like Ben Shapiro have now been backed into a corner because they preached a lot of this rhetoric for years, and now they are being inconsistent because they're trying to defend Israel.
Yep.
So Ben Shapiro, I think, came out as a big loser for the opening night of America Fest. We'll get to the Tucker Carlson part, but you'll see what I mean when we get to that part.
We'll cover Tucker Carlson later.
That does not mean that the attack wasn't horrible for the Americans involved, that it wasn't bloody and terrible. The Israeli government paid.
I love your dear Horowitz. I love your picture because it represents a piece of comedy I've loved all my life, which is the Three Stooges.
Larry, Curly, and Merrill?
Yes, sir.
Paid reparations to the people who were killed. If you look at the actual military record of what happened on the USS Liberty, it was clearly a mistaken and tragic attack.
But I thought you were against reparations, Ben Shapiro. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, all of a sudden, in that case, reparations was okay. You know what I mean? But when you were in the Breakfast Club and you brought that up, and you know, I don't think reparations really does anything. And Charlemagne the God told you to your face, well, it did something for Jewish, you know, people in this world. And he was like, well, you know, I don't really. Now you didn't twist yourself into a damn pretzel. Ben Shapiro, you have twisted yourself into a damn pretzel. You are inconsistent, Ben. You are inconsistent. And you don't want to listen to the facts.
Not to mention stupid.
Good God, this is all over the place. Ay, ay, ay.
People who frequently cite the USS Liberty, however, are not talking about the specifics of the USS Liberty. I suspect that the vast majority of people who bring this up are doing so in order to suggest that Israel deliberately attacked an American ship because Israel deliberately wants to harm America. It is connected generally with a larger point. I wonder if that's your point.
There is something called the Samson effect where Israel takes, you know, no shade in this, where they have no problem saying they can activate the Samson effect, which is that they can use their nuclear weapons against us here in the United States if we don't go along with their genocidal, crazy ass agenda. So Ben Shapiro, again, like I said, Ben Shapiro is not America first. Ben Shapiro is Israel first. He goes out of his way to protect Israel and defend it.
Yeah, quite frankly, I think Ben Shapiro should register as a foreign agent for Israel.
Agreed.
As much as possible. And I said this before, you know, he doesn't want to admit when Israel is wrong. Well, they didn't do this deliberately. It was just an accident. Yeah, so they accidentally killed all those kids in Gaza too? Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
If the truth matters, then the Israeli government must be held accountable for that attack. The American flag was flying on that ship. You do not mistake an American ship for a foreign one when our flag is flying.
So
I didn't think I'd have to drop the beat this soon, but I think we are going to have to drop the beat because they know what they're talking about. The audience members, they are not stupid, Ben. They are not stupid.
Well, before she drops her beat, I'm going to drop my own beat. Here we go. Well, let the church say yes. Let the church say yes. Let the church say amen. There you go.
I think Ben
Hey,
Shapiro was under
just a moment.
pressure. Going forever, Ben, and this one will.
And we can spend the rest of the time talking about the specifics of the U.S. Liberty attack, or you can actually go look at the naval investigations that were done, multiple naval investigations that were done. The reality is that people were flying Mirage planes for the Israeli military at the time. The USS Liberty was sailing in an area where it had essentially gone off-grid. The Israeli military mistook it for an Egyptian ship. They thought it was shelling Al Arish, which happened not to be true. In the initial
How would you mistake an American ship for an Egyptian ship if it's flying an American flag?
Oops.
attack, the American flag was knocked down, and then the attack went on for about 90 minutes. And then as soon, you can hear this, by the way, on the tapes of the Israeli pilots talking to each other, as soon as they realize that it's an American ship, they call off the attack, they speed a ship to try and help the USS Liberty. There have been multiple unfortunate friendly fire incidents between Allied forces, including, for example, in the Gulf War, where U.S. forces were responsible.
Now he wants to bring in the Gulf War. So here's the thing. Ben Shapiro is repeating the Zionist narrative. He's one of the brainwash clowns that just repeat the narrative that was told to them.
Yes.
There's no way you mistake an American ship for an Egyptian ship. You know who
Ain't
is
no
your
way you make
enemy
that
when
mistake.
you're out there in the field, or in this case, in the water. You know this.
Responsible for killing about 9 British troops during the Gulf War. It's an unfortunate reality of war, but you're not answering my question, which is, what is your broader agenda in asking the question? Because I suspect that your question is not limited to your specific ire over an incident that happened in 1967.
I think we should question any foreign country's relationship with our government.
That's totally fine, but I'm just wondering why you
serve American interests.
Again, I'm perfectly fine with questioning any country's relationship with the United States. But
No, you're not.
Again, I'm wondering what your motivation is in bringing up a 6-decade-old attack as though it is the number one issue in assessing the relationship between Israel and the United States.
The same reason why you bring up things in the past, the same reason why you bring up, the Holocaust, Ben. And this is not to say that you can't bring that up, but you can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, I can bring up this event from the past, but you can't bring up that event from the past.
Today.
Well, many problems persist to this day, but it's interesting that you say 6-decade-old incident when there are many people in this audience who are alive.
Yep.
For that attack, as if this is something that's irrelevant.
Well,
it doesn't.
no, it's just not particularly relevant to assessing the relationship between the United States and Israel today, in the same way that in 1967, there are a wide variety of countries with which the United States had different relations.
Isn't he asking
It's clear you're not going to actually answer the question.
Isn't the person in the audience asking about today and not what happened in 1967?
So I'm happy to move to this one.
Uh-oh. So he got triggered. Ben is triggered there. Yeah, I think it is perfectly okay to ask that question. And in regards to the relationship that the United States has with Israel, I think that is okay to ask that question. So Ben Shapiro was in the hot seat there. He then went on to go after Tucker Carlson, of all people. Here we go.
So if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk,
Candace Owens first, sorry.
casting aspersions at TPUSA and the people who work here, who worked with Charlie every single day, his best friends, to cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer, and yes, at Erica Kirk, and to imply or outright claim complicity in a cover-up over Charlie's murder, to spew absolutely baseless trash implicating everyone from French intelligence to Mossad to members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder, then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name. Erica Kirk and TPUSA never should have been put in the position to have to defend themselves against such specious and evil attacks, particularly in a time of mourning. And the people who refuse to condemn Candace's truly vicious attacks, and some of them are speaking here, are guilty of cowardice. Yes, cowardice.
That is
The fact that they have said nothing while
screech.
Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense into the public square for years is just as cowardly.
I wouldn't say that they have said nothing, but they agree with her in the sense that people should be asking questions and they don't believe the FBI's official narrative. Now, I want to point something out here. Ben Shapiro could have used this opportunity to create some type of unity within the MAGA movement, but he decided to use that opportunity to bring up Candace Owens and to attack her.
Uh-huh. And he about to pay
I
for
just
it.
feel as though, what is more, I guess, a better use of your time? Do you use that opportunity of this festival to bring people together, or do you use that opportunity to attack Candace Owens and continue to divide people within your so-called movement?
Oops.
Candace Owens was not at America Fest. I don't think it's fair to go after her, knowing she was a part of TPUSA, but she's not anymore, and she wasn't there to defend herself. I will say that.
Right.
I don't think that's fair. Best thing that could have happened is Ben Shapiro could have decided not to bring her up at all. So who's being divisive now? Because he's the one that decided to bring it up.
Yep.
Something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about. We're not going to go to the part where he goes after Tucker Carlson, at least not yet. We're going to go to Candace Owens' clapback.
All right, you guys, happy Friday. Well, I just want to start by saying that it's pretty obvious that Ben Shapiro is terrified. We can all see that now that Charlie Kirk is dead. He seems to be taking multiple stages and demanding an allegiance to Erica Kirk. In fact, it almost seems like he's demanding that nobody inquire further about Erica Kirk. It's odd because Ben had no allegiance to Charlie Kirk when he was alive. So what is it about Charlie's widow in particular that is inspiring his very public nervous breakdown? Personally, I think he knows something about her. That is what I am sensing, that he knows something about Erica Kirk. And every time he speaks, I grow more certain that
I told people you don't have to agree with this woman, but don't fuck with her.
Israel might be involved with 9/10. So let's keep investigating. Welcome back to Candace.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the day Charlie Kirk got assassinated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben Shapiro just keeps calling my name out on stage. He's calling for me. He's calling for me. And I'd like to show up for him today. Okay. Last night he hit the stage at Turning Point USA's AmFest the other night. And I'd like, first and foremost, just to let you all know, some people noticed that he wasn't on the AmFest list for years. And all of a sudden he's back on the speaker list beginning in 2024. I want to let you know how that actually happened. So the story goes, obviously, that in 2024, Ben fired me in March. Well, he would say management fired me. But firing me wasn't enough. He wanted to make sure my reputation and livelihood was also destroyed. Of course, what happened thereafter is Charlie Kirk instantly came out and supported me because we were like brother and sister, always supporting each other publicly. And then I showed you guys a few episodes ago that we found out as I was going to speak in Dallas at their YWLS convention that Ben had sent an intern who was going to ask me a question while I was on stage, but we sort of rumbled this plan. And I called Ben out on stage. Ben did not like that I called him out on stage. So he began working behind the scenes to have Jewish donors start threatening Charlie to make sure that I wasn't invited to speak at year end because I was an anti-Semite. This is what Charlie told me. And instead, he wanted to be invited. So he's just going to purchase a friendship, right? So he comes at Turning Point USA, and this is what was divulged to me from Andrew Colvett at the time, willing to spend an offensive amount of money to be a part of AmFest. Like I said, that was told to me by Andrew Colvett directly because he wanted to say, look, like, obviously, you know, we are totally, Charlie's 100% on your side. this is like an offensive ad spend. I was like, take his money. I could care less, obviously. And I knew that he was working with Barry Weiss to call and put an article out saying that the donors, the people on the board of TPUSA want Candace gone. All of this petty behind the scenes behavior because I called him out on stage. Okay. So quite literally, this is the definition of buying friends and influence and fame. Now, in case you're listening and thinking, is Ben Shapiro actually capable of that level of pettiness? I'm going to tell you a story about Thomas Sowell. Yes, Dr. Thomas Sowell of Stanford. The story begins in 2023, shortly after October 7th. You know, Ben was sort of having another one of his open nervous breakdowns, and his audience just went kaput. People just stopped watching his podcast because he was screaming at Americans that.
By the way, since Candace has left, Ben Shapiro's empire has pretty much crumbled.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to prioritize Israel, and people just didn't feel that way. Okay, it's not our country. I'm sorry that happened to you, but why do?
Yeah, we live in America. We're America first over here. Sorry.
Americans need to be screamed at about what's happening in the Middle East. Anyways, throughout this time, Brian Mast was wearing an IDF uniform in Congress, and he basically said that there's no such thing as an innocent Palestinian life. And when I saw this, as shared by Yashar Ali on X, I responded and I said that genocidal language, no matter who shares it, is always wrong. Genocide is always wrong is what I tweeted. And this caused an emotional breakdown amongst people who support Israel. I didn't think that was a controversial statement. I thought that was sort of what we all believed in. Genocide is always wrong. Anyways, for Ben, he then had some private event, probably at another Jewish donor's house, and somebody caught him standing on a table insulting me over my genocide is always wrong tweet. Take a listen to what Ben had to say.
And then the question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this has been disgraceful. Without a doubt. I think it's I can't know that. Yeah, I mean, she still works for my company. I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying, and I find them disreputable.
Disreputable, disgraceful. She works at my company. You can imagine that the internet went crazy because they wanted me to respond to him. I can't believe this. They work together, they're colleagues. Somehow this gets leaked. And I want to mention, because it's very relevant, that was on the morning of November 14th. I was 6 days away from giving birth. I was very heavily pregnant. Anyways, I wake up to this, and shockingly, nobody from the Daily Wire steps in to manage the situation. And as you can imagine, virtually every journalist, every person with a media platform was contacting me to comment, to respond to me being insulted by someone. I'm about to give birth. I'm being insulted, and they're not getting anything from the Daily Wire. So I am obviously frustrated. You should also tell you, I had no PR at this time. My PR was the internal PR at the Daily Wire. And it was very clear that their focus was on protecting Ben, even though he was the one who insulted me publicly, because I said that genocide is always wrong. That is the genesis of that statement. That's all I said.
Yep.
Obviously, I wanted to respond angrily to the press. I wanted to hit back at Ben. And I guess you could sort of say my perspective was an eye for an eye, but my husband.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Husband, who was a better person than me, instructed me that morning to instead take a deep breath, relax, okay? Don't think about what you're feeling in the moment. Think about how you're going to feel in the future. And he instructed me to instead read the Bible, the Sermon on the Mount. And I read through it, and he reminds me that everybody who wants to comment.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Matthew chapter 5, like first 15 verses.
Okay.
And they don't care about me either, right? They're selling headlines. They want the clicks. They want the drama. And I'm going to feed into that. For what reason? For what reason, actually, am I going to give a comment and say something about Ben Shapiro? Blessed are the peacemakers, right? Don't buy into this click culture. And so.
Yeah, in Sunday school, we call it the Beatitudes.
I tweeted.
I remember
that.
the Beatitudes.
Actually, my husband was right. I called for peace. I tweeted, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And I made the mistake, I guess it was a mistake, that after I tweeted, "Blessed are the peacemakers," and I'm thinking that I'm going to be commended when I get back to work. Like, wow, you really took the high road.
No.
I ended this biblical passage with Christ is king. Christ is the king. He's the only thing that matters. Obviously, Christ is king.
Oh boy.
Now, it was just Tucker Carlson's luck that I had been slated to come on his news show the very next day. He had booked me 6 weeks earlier. I got approval from Daily Wire. He booked me for November 15th. So suddenly Ben gets on this table. He insults me. It's trending all over Twitter. And Tucker Carlson is going to be the first person to capture my reaction to it. And when it came time, I kept up with the peacemaker. I made the decision to just take the high road. I said, I don't want that to negatively impact how people perceive the Daily Wire. There are great people there. I mean, I wouldn't be proud on that, but I'm not taking the bait here. I didn't say
I know it's kind of long, fellas, but just to get this, I want you to give some context.
Anything snipey back at Ben because I didn't want to feed the mob. That was my honest perspective. My husband was just
it's going to get juicy later.
Right. And also we're talking about a work colleague, right? Somehow me taking the high road made him angrier. So here's what he did. Elsewhere in my interview with Tucker, he asks me who I look up to, who I like. And I told Tucker the truth that it was my dream to meet Thomas Sowell. That when I first got into politics, I read a ton of Thomas Sowell books, and I had tried many times to meet him. And obviously he's aging, but I really looked up to Dr. Thomas Sowell.
Yeah, Thomas Sowell's in his 90s.
And here's that clip with me and Tucker.
Who do you listen to when you're trying to figure out? I mean, some of the stuff comes at you so fast, and you're talking almost every day or writing almost every day. Who do you read or listen to try to make sense or bounce ideas off of?
I have been obsessed with Thomas Sowell. And everybody knows that I am pretty much a Thomas Sowell groupie. Everything he writes, I read. And it is because he was a part of my awakening story into politics and made me focus on the economics, which is to say, block out the noise and pay attention to the economics, go backwards in history to understand where we are. When has this worked? Oh, it's never worked. So they're just telling me that it's going to work into the future. And there's no evidence to support that. So when Ben saw that, he decided, Thomas Sowell, hey, that's your dream. You love Thomas Sowell. He thought that was an opportunity to get even with me for taking the high road after he insulted me on stage because he's deeply jealous of Tucker Carlson for reasons that I cannot quite understand. Ben had his team reach out and schedule an interview with Thomas Sowell, which they paid for an offensive amount of money, I presume, to effectively purchase a Black man who has no idea what's going on. He's very old, he's in his 90s, to hurt my feelings, okay? Interview with Tucker is on the 15th. I think it premieres on the 16th. And Ben gets Thomas Sowell, who he doesn't care about. I'm working at the Daily Wire at this moment, and I'm about to give birth in 3 days. But this was supposed to be like an FU Candace for taking the high road and saying that genocide is always wrong. That is what I mean when I say he is an incredibly petty man, okay? Now, we know how this ends. I then am fired not for what I said, but for what they assumed that I meant, and for trolls that I didn't respond to. And I want to be clear, you can fire whoever you want. You really can if you're a business owner. It's just that this was atypical in the fashion that it was done, right? It wasn't done in the way where you just say, okay, get out of here, it's not working. Instead, what they decided to do was humiliate me in front of all of the other employees rather than having a conversation.
What if we tell y'all white supremacy does with its tools? What if we told y'all white supremacy does with its tools? You're hearing it verbatim right now.
Sort of dramatically having me exit after doing my show, not knowing that I was going to be fired. And then they had put together a stage in my studio and put up clips put together basically a whole package, like almost like a high school play, and conducted what I honestly, when I look back, because it recently leaked what happened at this quote unquote town hall, this is a slave hanging. This is a slave hanging, right? Gather around, everybody else is a slave. And let me tell you how this one messed up. Gather around and watch us whip this person. This is literally how I feel when I watch this, okay? And you'll know what not to do next. And here is a video of the then CEO, Jeremy Boring, which somehow Steven Crowder got a hold of this week or last week or whatever. This is just a portion of it. You should watch the entire thing because it really is something. And ask yourself in your memory, do you ever recall anybody ever being fired where 300 employees, Ben joined electronically, he was up on the screen too, and just enjoyed watching me be humiliated, where 300 employees are invited down and shown a production of what this person did wrong? Okay, well, let's watch a little bit of this video.
Candace made no statement at all in the days after Hamas terrorists raped, murdered, and tortured over 1,000 Israeli civilians, mostly Jews, some Americans. And then they took hundreds more hostage. But then on October 28th of 2023, while anti-Israel protests were raging in London, where Candace, I believe, was at the time, she reposted a video of the protests on X, commenting, quote, "Interesting thing happening here. People are not accepting the media narrative about what's happening in the Middle East, despite the insistent rhetoric from government officials." On November 3rd, she posted, quote, "No government anywhere has a right to commit a genocide ever. There is no justification for a genocide. I can't believe this even needs to be said or is even considered the least bit controversial to state." There was only one country on earth being accused of genocide at the time. Anti-Semites on X took to it immediately. They cheered at what they rightly or wrongly interpreted as Candace smearing Israel. And Candace didn't rebuff their interpretation. But when Dave Rubin came to the exact same conclusion as the anti-Semites, only instead of cheering for Candace, found it vile and rebuked her, Candace quickly attacked, saying, quote, "What's amazing about this is that I didn't name any country in this tweet."
Not allowed to violate contracts or you will ruin them for years. You fire someone and you
I'm skipping ahead.
effectively stalk and harass them for years after. I'm here to let you know that I'm done with it. I am done with it. This one is so fully off of the mother effing plantation. Truly, Ben Shapiro, fuck you and the midget horse that you rode in on. And I say that on behalf of the world.
I thought I used that
know
phrase.
You're going to get applauded by
Oh,
Constantine.
if you didn't hear that, let me play it again.
Done with
Please
it. This
do.
one is so fully off of the mother effing plantation. Truly, Ben Shapiro, fuck you and the midget horse that you rode in on. And I say that on behalf of the world. I know you're going to get applauded by Konstantin Kisin and Andrew Christ is King Clavin and all of the people, the men who have to keep applauding what you do like you're a 4-year-old to make you feel good. But the rest of the world can't stand you.
Damn.
You're obnoxious. You have
She ain't wrong. The rest of the world can't stand you.
absolutely no values that exist outside of the Talmud. You describe yourself as a Talmudic Jew. And I've learned what's in that Talmud, and I encourage other people at home to learn what is in that Talmud so that you know what Ben thinks of you, because he doesn't just hate me, he hates you too, white men. He hates all Black people, okay? If he's following the rules of the Talmud, I mean, when I say hates, they think that we're animals, that they have a right to own us, that they have a right to make us worship them, that they have a right to lie to us, that they have a right to sue us and take everything that we have, that they have a right to deceive us, that they have a right to treat Charlie the way that he treated Charlie while he was alive, only to then try to defraud the population into thinking that he is somehow a part of his legacy, that he somehow cared about Charlie Kirk and cares to protect the people that are working at Turning Point USA. Goodbye, Ben. Goodbye.
See you later, alligator.
How much more money is Ben Shapiro going to spend to make people think that he's popular? How many more articles is his father going to write under a pen name, Hank Berrien of the Daily Wire, under the pen name Hank Berrien, as he wrote while Ben was at Breitbart, before he turned his back and betrayed them too, because that is his nature. He's one of these belly creatures, sliver on. The question is, how many more weeks and years do we have to keep pretending like Ben Shapiro is relevant?
Ooh.
It's an open-ended question. Of course, what followed Ben Shapiro on stage is somebody who Charlie Kirk loved very much. and who he fought for to the very end against the Jewish donors who were pressuring him, some of them because Ben Shapiro insisted that they do. Take a listen to what Tucker Carlson had to say when he hit the stage.
The prediction that, at some point when Republicans took power again, which I did everything I could, to help, and really felt that was important. I still think, I was right. But I really thought that the impulse to deplatform people, or even to use the word platform as a verb, which it's not, it's a noun, don't steal my nouns, deplatform and denounce. Why haven't you denounced somebody else? The whole Red Guard cultural revolution thing that we so hated and feared on the left that we did everything we could to usher in a new time where you could have an actual debate. I mean, this kind of was the whole point of Charlie Kirk's, as the last who wanted
true friend, just as I was and am and will continue to fight and ask questions about who killed Charlie Kirk. And to people that are at home, I implore you to wake up to these people who believe that they are contract lords. I challenge Black Americans to wake up to your true history, because your quarrel is not with white men, okay? Wake up to who publishes these books and keeps us warring with one another. Christians versus Christians, right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport, okay? Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but it's there and you can find it.
Yep, that's the part I wanted to play. Yeah, we're moving on now.
Play it again, please.
I think all of us need to play a white men sport.
Now, don't get it twisted. White supremacy still exists.
It does.
But what she's not wrong. What she's telling you, she's not wrong.
Right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport, okay? Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but it's there and you can find it.
Yep.
I think all of us need to wake up to this, because it's making me absolutely sick that he is so bold that he dare sit near Charlie Kirk's chair, that he dare.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's have a little fun here. I'm going to skip ahead.
Damn.
And remember on Thursday, we were going over Fonnie Willis's testimony, right?
Gorilla Grip, if I remember.
Oh, yes, Gorilla Grip. Well, guess who had something to say about it?
Oh, no.
Judge Joe Brown.
Oh, no.
And company.
Oh, boy. They're in overtime and fires in 16 all.
Really?
Yeah, Bears just wiped out a 10-point deficit in 2 minutes.
Okay.
And they're getting ready to
That's
start
why they call it a 2-minute warning.
Yep.
And the reason that she undertakes to run her office is a matter of employees, which is accepted and is privileged and is a
grant. So that's a misnomer slang.
Of those 13, were they prosecutors or were they admin? What do they do?
A combination of everything. Some lawyers, some investigators, some staff.
I told BGS now might be a good time to go take that trip to Georgia.
Okay.
Your Gorilla Grip.
And those weren't all federal grants.
I want to move quickly through, and I don't want to belabor this, but there was a letter that I want to ask you about that came from Senator Grassley relative to grants. And then we heard testimony from someone who I believe used to work in your office, is no longer employed, named Amanda Timpson.
Yeah, about 5 of her cases have been dismissed now. So I think that you should know that on summary judgment, because she, right? I've had up to 400 employees before.
Yeah, I'm skipping ahead because I want you to hear what.
Joe
Because
Brown.
it's not just Judge Joe Brown. There's some other black lawyers here, and their take on Fannie Willis's behavior is very telling.
For the ARPA money was in
lines that you have, as well as any sort of anti-nepotism policy.
Prosecuting, and that I can come in January because this
grand jury with a few more. In other words, they've got all the I's and T's. Now all they got to do is just dot them and cross them. And bye-bye. Her mama didn't go to jail, but she might.
They couldn't indict her,
Oops.
but she go be. Lord.
Yeah. See, actually, it was one of the most beautifully sophisticated hearings I've ever heard because they did their homework. Everybody that was participating was knowledgeable. They could recite from memory the facts and details that she was supposed to know because she was in charge, but didn't.
Absolutely.
This is disgraceful. How do you even come up with a final argument to the jury if you can't remember these salient facts and that's your job?
Yeah. And that's your job.
Facts. That's
This is disgusting.
Judge, I'm so hurt because I know what it takes. I know what we have to go through as Black attorneys. I'm from the hood. I'm born to teen parents. I started off in Christopher Columbus Projects in Patterson, New Jersey, and to watch lawyers do this. Her, Jasmine Crockett, the Congressional Black Caucus singing spiritual songs on the congressional floor. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts me. It hurts me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Well, Counselor, I understand. I'm personally extremely embarrassed. Yeah. In other words, I listened to Thurgood Marshall deliver a lecture years ago. I've heard, I'd met Johnny Cochran back in 1966. I have seen people.
I am Gummy DeMint. Who are you?
Oh, it's me. I'm Gumby, damn it.
Oh,
it's me.
I'm sorry.
Do great things. My old man went to Howard Law School years ago. I know how these men of courage and women of courage stood up and did the right kind of thing, no excuses. And this little witch comes up with all of these lame excuses that gives everybody a bad name trying to cover up her alleged criminality.
Yeah.
What did Horowitz say?
Yeah.
What did
But
Horowitz say in the
this
chat?
fool
She's
up
debating the
beautifully.
receipts.
And then, see, the other thing that gets me, who's sitting to her left?
Really?
Now, you
that's the former
explain
governor.
how that fits.
Yes. I didn't know
that's
that.
the former governor of Georgia.
With what she talked about relative to poor little black
rank
female
card.
me, how much I can't do because. Hell, she's in charge. Under the Constitution of Georgia, there's nobody she's answerable to but herself, except the state legislative body that appropriates funds has the authority to investigate how their money is being spent.
Yep.
And they trapped her. How much do you receive from the feds? And that's something they're entitled to do, inquire of, because it is a state agency. She is representing a district as the district attorney general. There is an attorney general for the whole state, but she is one of the sub attorney generals for the district that is embraced by Fulton County. That is so pathetic. In other words, I can't do my job because I'm a black female and everybody picks on me. Well, damn it, you don't need to be there because there are a whole lot of people going back a long way.
Facts.
Judge Martin Luther King is buried not too far from the. They spitting on his grave. All the things y'all did for us, all the things y'all stood up for us, How can we carry ourselves like this?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
How?
Quit whining and do your job. Or is it that she was talking about 58 million that the state spent on some? Oh, we can get some of that. Wade, you and I can get some of that change.
Well,
See, I know. See that it's like right here in Shelby County, Memphis, Tennessee. I know the con games these folk are running because I represented their grandparents and I talked with them. I know their parents and I see what they're doing. They're stealing in the name of, well, it's our turn. No, it's not your turn. You're supposed to do right. You're supposed to be an exemplar of what's supposed to be done, not to carry on when somebody's a crook.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Right.
Well, so just wrap it up. I want to ask Judge real quick. What happens now? You know, she finally sat down in front of the Georgia Senate committee. So what happens next?
Wait for the true bills of indictment.
Okay, so it may be an indictment coming down
on her. I told you she's gonna
wind
up. She's gonna wind up right where she tried to put Trump and his associates. She's gonna be there. See, what she did is something that is repugnant to American law. It's why we have the Bill of Rights to protect from what has recently been termed lawfare, using the criminal justice system to persecute political dissidents who haven't broken any laws but simply disagreed with you. The fact of the matter is Trump offered to bring out the National Guard in case there was disorder.
That is true. You talking about January 6th?
There weren't 5 people died behind this. That's an outright lie. There were 2 people. One of them was a protester who was the off-duty cop, a female, got shot by a Capitol police officer, and another somebody disassociated with either side other than being there died of a heart attack. So where does she get the 5?
Right. Well,
and then that's like, I'm not the only one committing crime. Why are you just on me? Well, you know, we threw the dice.
Oh, let's pause them because we got to pay up here. Hey, babe, you want to know why I've never taken Fannie Willis seriously once this Trump stuff came up?
Because she black?
No. It's not even. It ain't even about that. Okay, let's just put this in context.
She washed up in the.
You are prosecuting a former president of the United States. That is the equivalent of prosecuting 20 mob bosses at once, literally, possibly 30. And your bright
over
idea,
a parking ticket,
huh?
Over a parking ticket.
And no, hey, I'm gonna land. And your bright idea is to go get a traffic judge to prosecute a RICO case.
The Bears just won.
Okay.
We can move on now.
Mm-hmm. You go get a traffic judge to prosecute a RICO
case.
Oh, and I haven't even brought up the fact that you're sleeping with this married man. Oops. Who's a traffic judge, who happens to be a traffic judge.
Before the Trump situation happened.
Yep.
Before the Trump situation happened, yep.
No, she probably still fucking him. Shit.
She is. She got caught down here last November after everything popped off.
Mm-hmm.
She got caught down here. Her daughter was speeding down here in South Georgia with
yeah, I saw the
video. Yeah.
I saw the
yeah,
body.
She down here on suspended license, no insurance. So she got arrested. She called her mama.
Yep.
Just on a Saturday. Her mama pull up with. Go ahead, AB. Who she pull up with?
Vonnie.
No, who the Vonnie pull up
sorry.
with?
What's his name? Wade?
Yeah, she pulled up with Nathan Wade, all on the police body cam. Because she thought her mama was going to get her out of trouble. Like, chick, you outside the 285. You outside the Fulton County. Your mama ain't got no power.
None.
No power. Once you go outside the 285, you dealing with rednecks. It's over for you. And now she's before the Georgia State Legislature. She forget it. The Supreme Court, Georgia Supreme Court. She's sitting up here trying to use all these. Well, it's racist for y'all to hold me accountable. It's racist. It's racist. And they just sitting up there like with the resting bitch face. They let her throw her little tantrum, and then they ask her the question again.
Yeah. I asked BGS, does it have an off button? She was all boss bitch.
Wait. Doesn't have an off button? Who are we talking about here?
Dude.
Yeah, Fonda Willis. Does it have an off button? Does she have an off button?
If you notice, all of these black politicians on the Democratic side all have the same playbook. Brandon Johnson, Fonnie Willis, Tiffany Henyard, Jasmine Crockett, the DC police chief that got fired or had to step down or whatever. They all got the same playbook. That's why I tell y'all, like, stop claiming everything is racist. Ain't nobody listening to that shit no more.
Nope. And you came up first.
All right, well,
and you didn't come up first. You went after the teachers union on RICO. You went after some rappers on RICO. You couldn't get the conviction on them, and you went after the president and the president's men and women, and you couldn't get them either because your judicial system threw the cases out. And you had an independent prosecutor come in and take a look at all of it, and she wanted to poo-poo that, and he said, there's nothing here.
Yep.
She's upset.
And we now find that he was not exaggerating. All of this is coming to light.
She kept using race every time she sat in, whether it was in a courtroom or this hearing, and she's in front of a camera, she always used race. And it wasn't because she was black on why the case fell apart. It was.
Hey, babe, I got a question. Did she put that dress on backwards because she was black? That red dress. Remember that infamous red dress she had on? I didn't even know it was backwards till I talked to a couple of women. Like, yeah, that dress is on backwards. I'm like, what? I'm like, really? Anyway,
because she
did she do that because she was black? I'm just saying.
Couldn't keep her legs closed.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. You couldn't keep your legs closed, and that trips up not just women but men.
A married man, a man that's still
Right.
married.
But that trips up not just women but men too, not just black people but white people. So you couldn't keep your legs closed, and this would have been the biggest case of her whole.
By the way, I got 47 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App, support the show. Hit the Super Chat and support the show.
Career. She dropped the ball, not some white supremacy, not a racist system. You know, there are a lot of flaws with our justice systems, but she dropped the ball and she got to eat it. But she comes up there arrogant as hell with an attitude, you know, being highly aggressive, filibustering, lying.
Oh yeah, oh yes. She came up with the hold on, I got it right here. With the
I'm independent.
And so
Color slandering.
Why are you trying to make me laugh when I'm under the weather, AB? Damn you.
Oh, you need to laugh. Well, let me help you out.
Please do.
I'm independent.
This is one of the few times I will playfully cuss you out. You punk ass bitch. You making me laugh.
About it is that she's doing that so that it can take it off of, because you see, she didn't say nothing about Wade. It wasn't nothing about what you have done to take this case to where it is now, to make people even start investigating into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to say that they wasn't anyways, but this just opened up a whole nother can.
Hold on, let's go to TikTok for a minute because we need to talk about something. We just at this point we just need to start annoying these heifers because they've lost their damn minds. Now, I'm about to play something, and I wish you just have to. It has to be heard to be believed. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see. I believe it's. This just has to be heard to be believed.
So the men are mad.
Wait for it.
Because the women are saying they would rather live alone instead of living with a man so they can be musty.
Time.
So they can be musty.
Time.
Bitch, I am the most important part of Texas.
Oops.
Time.
Bitch, I am the most important part.
So they what?
Evidently, we're supposed to be mad because they would rather be by themselves and be musty in their own house.
I won't even offer a comment.
I just have a simple question.
I won't even offer a comment right now.
What is there to be mad about?
What is there? What is there for you to laugh at? Be mad about?
What is? I mean,
The men are mad.
No, we're not.
Because the women are saying they would rather live alone instead of living with a man so they can be musty.
What's there to be mad about?
So they can be musty in peace. So the men are mad.
Okay, at this point, I'm gonna make the sign myself. Fuck it. Because BGS.
You know what? I might have it for you.
There are 4 billion other coochies on the damn planet. Why would we be worried about your musty ass?
You know what? I've got a BGS triple play for you here. Started third base.
Now that's some bullshit.
Then to second.
I am too old for this bullshit.
And we complete the triple play.
I ain't got no time for this bullshit.
Man. Oh, that's so true.
And All-Star G. Yeah, the Bears we choose win games. The bear they choose just sleeps.
And let them call the bear. You know my motto. Let them call
the bear. But once again, for the thing you just played.
I am too old for this bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
And
I ain't got no time for this bullshit.
and you know, when BGS recorded that one, you know who that reminded me of very lovingly?
Who?
My dad.
Oh yeah.
Because Dad used to say that shit.
My dad, my mother tells something that my dad something crazy, like shit.
That sounds like my father too. And given the fact that I am married to the most wonderful woman on the planet, there are times when she's at work, I can hear her say,
I ain't got no time for this bullshit.
And when the day is over, you can hear Dr. K say very loudly,
I am too old for this bullshit.
Yep. Oh, let's have a little fun here.
Why don't you treat me good like till you treat your car?
Okay.
Splash.
Why don't you treat me good like till you treat your car?
Okay.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, you know something, Mean Gene?
Oh,
this holster train keeps on rolling, brother. Look at this power.
WrestleMania is 2 weeks away, and you're scheduled.
Did he get stabbed? I mean, that is
It looks like chocolate sauce.
It do.
To meet Andre the Giant.
Yeah, you know something, Mean Gene? This holster train.
They got Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
Y'all like men that talk down on other women they fuck with. That shit corny as fuck. I ain't listening to no man bad mouthing no woman around me on no day. You chose her. Don't act disgusted because I'm in your presence. As a matter of fact, you're dismissed. Y'all like men that talk down.
She say I'm in bitches bragging about having 40 bodies. Nasty heifer, that's not a roster, that's a losing season. You
that one.
and still getting scored on. Bitches bragging about having bodies. Nasty heifer, that's not a roster, that's a losing season. You scoring and still getting scored on. Bitches bragging.
Hell no. Men be having a girlfriend and a whole family at home and still be trying to build another life with a whole different bitch. Telling that bitch the same dreams,
That's not me.
but in a different way. Men be having a girlfriend and a whole family at
Well, it's not our fault you're a side chick.
Let me ask you straight. How much do you weigh right now?
230.
No,
Give or take
now
a
they
bit.
got
And
Kim.
your dress size?
A 16
Now.
on a good day.
What? Oh my God. What in the world?
You sent a linebacker through my Wi-Fi?
My bad.
I
Clean
did not
tackle
see
though.
that coming.
Next time. Let me ask you straight.
Yeah. That is linebacker weight though. 230.
230,
How much do you weigh right now?
245.
230.
Yeah, that's linebacker.
Give or take a biscuit.
And your dress
Give or
Although
take a
depending on
biscuit.
her attitude, I could probably work with that.
size?
A 16.
That's not necessarily an ugly big girl. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these are funny.
That's funny. That's
Sorry. My bad. Sorry. I can't stand a man that's tit for tat.
I never
Like your
want
main
to
purpose
see
as a man.
Winnie that. I never in life want to see Winnie that mad.
Is
Ever.
to lead and be logical. So why the fuck are you mirroring me in the shit I do out of emotion? Who the fuck gonna be the man if we both acting like bitches? I can't stand a man that's tit for tat. Like your main purpose as a man is to lead and
Guys are getting mad that now that women don't need them for shelter or money, they actually have to lead with personality.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Guys are getting mad that now that women don't need them for shelter or money, they actually have to lead with personality.
Whatever.
Okay, be honest.
Wait.
Yeah,
They got.
Guys are getting mad that now that women
They got till 2027.
Mm-hmm.
They got till
Oh,
2027.
man, you give them too much time. That's like the next year. They ain't gonna make it next year.
They
Well,
have
the big beautiful bill kicks in next month. So they get 2 years of welfare, 2 years of Section 8, and I believe 7 years of SNAP. Until the child turns 8.
Right.
And then they're screwed.
Right. I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah, so they got till 2027. And they can't file the child on their taxes if they collect child support. The father can claim the child on their taxes if they pay child support. It would be a felony if the mothers did that.
And
it would be considered fraud. That starts this tax season coming up.
You know what they're all saying right now?
Be honest with me.
You know what they're all saying right now because of those facts?
Now that's bullshit.
Grandpa, what were the women like back in your day?
See, in my generation, we had Wonder Woman. Now, this generation has to wonder if it is a damn woman.
Grandpa, what were the women like back in your day?
See, in my generation, we had Wonder Woman. Now, this generation has to wonder if it is a damn woman.
I have nothing to say. Like I'm just talking to the wall. All this mess and you just standing there like you don't care, so you have nothing to
You
say.
know I don't argue with y'all unstable creatures. You 5'10" and still can't reach the point. Whole new body, same broke attitude. Them lashes flapping like mini blinds, and you still can't see you wrong.
Boy, bye. I have nothing to say. Like I'm just talking to the wall. All this mess and you just standing there like you don't care, so you have nothing to
You
say.
know I don't argue with y'all unstable creatures. You 5'10" and still can't reach the point.
Ooh, brutal. Let's go to some other ones. Then we're gonna go back to some other stuff. Let's go to black folk for a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this one's funny.
Did you see that video? No, it's bananas.
Listen, lady, no one has read your book.
Wait for it.
Okay? No one has read your book. That's the first thing. The second thing is clearly you ain't read your own damn book. And you damn sure ain't right, the motherfucker.
Here it comes.
Because you can't answer a question, you keep referring back to the book. What page, Hall? What page? What paragraph? I personally have written 3 books, and I can tell you everything in all the books. Somebody asked you a question, and you talk about, well, I talk about it in the book. Well, what did you say in the book, bitch?
Beautiful.
Did you see that video? No.
You know why they got her
how
hustling
many
that
ways I
book,
got
right? You know why they got her hustling that book? Because she got to pay. She got to pay down that debt, that $20 million
I
debt.
forgot about that $20 million debt.
Yeah, they making her pay that out of her own pocket.
Well,
damn.
Get the paying. All right.
Just damn.
Gotta say it to people. It's not that the Republicans and conservatives are so amazing. What I'm
No, they're not. They might lose. They might lose in 2026.
suggesting is that type of stuff, that type of vicious, nasty attitude towards black men specifically, we can no longer say that this is only happening amongst white people and on the far right.
Yep.
There are black women who vote and follow every slogan, every trend, every talking point, and it's anti-family, anti-men, anti-boys, and anti-black boys in the womb. When you get that in,
Wait a minute, don't talk about Cynthia G like that.
Realize that a lot of the prescriptions that men are making in this space, and the reason why we're raising the alarms right now, is because if you don't listen to us now as ladies and separate yourself from the women that act this way and talk this way, you're going to be left to end up being like all the women that's giving all this feedback and advice to everybody else, but doesn't even have the outcomes they want relationally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, I got a video specifically for this.
Okay.
And you know it well. If you don't like me, you can always, listen. If you don't like me, you can always call the bear. Call and tell him, come on, come get his meal. Come on. You can always call the bear. Call him. Wait a minute. But you can't use my phone. Warning. This content creator will not be held responsible if you get eaten alive by that bear. Also, no real bears were harmed during the production of this video.
No real bears were harmed in the production of this commercial.
Nope.
I don't know how many ways I got.
Shout out to Louis for that one. He's like, remember to say.
Oh, Louis gave you that.
Yeah, no bears were harmed because Peter and all. I mean, they petty.
Gotta say it to people.
Number one, bitch. I was number one on that list of places that women don't want to go on a first date. Are you fucking kidding me? Bitch, I don't think it was in any particular order. Hey, Applebee's.
I don't give a fuck what any black woman says. Cheesecake Factory is the shit. All right.
I'm sorry. Cheesecake Factory is where I take a woman when I want to propose.
Well, in my case, that's where Jody took me one day.
Actually,
we exchanged dates at the Cheesecake Factory, and then we found something akin to that when we were living up in Terre Haute. So yeah.
Do me a favor, bitch. Shut up.
Yes.
Shut up. Okay, bitch, I know you're upset, but don't be talking to me crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Bitch, who cares about these bougie bitches? I care, Chili's. I care. Believe it or not, I have always fancied myself a spot for bougie bitches. Cheesecake Factory, come on now. Stop the cap. Olive Garden, have you seen my menu, bitch? It's infinite. It's literally infinite. I can do whatever the fuck you want, bitch. I don't really think it's about that, though. Yeah, like at the end of the day, none of us are 5-star restaurants, and that's the problem. What the fuck did you just say? Bitch, you are not a 5-star restaurant, okay? I guess having 38 types of cheesecake doesn't matter anymore. My God, I might as well be Buffalo Wild Wings. Bitch, let me tell you something. Ooh. Fuck that list and fuck those fake ass bitches. Buffalo Wild Wings is a perfectly acceptable first date, bitch. I mean, maybe if you're on a date with the homie, well, maybe the guy should just take the homie then. Then they can share a plate of mango habanero wings. So
yeah, to be fair, if I'm taking a stud Buffalo Wild Wings and put a dress on her, what's the big deal?
I was on that list too.
When we used to go to BW3s, It was either me and the homeboys, or if we went took a chick, it was to watch the game.
Yeah.
You know, that's all that was. Cheesecake Factory, that's family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Family, you've been dating your girl for a minute. Let's just go out and get out of the house.
Cheesecake Factory is not a first date. That's
right.
Not-
What was the other? Red Lobster? That's for the kids' graduation. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
Go to Red Lobster because the kids think they going somewhere special because they all dressed up. You know, Denny's is, you know, coming back from the club.
yeah. I'll agree with that.
You know, I mean, it ain't the only reason, but that's where people who normally do that stuff, that's where they go.
Don't take your girl here. Also, don't come here. We don't even want to be here. I don't want to be here. No one working at Denny's wants to be here. And we sure as fuck don't want you there.
There's some.
You working at Denny's, you done hit rock bottom. Clearly, you in a halfway house.
If you don't come, then we don't have to go. So on that list was
there's some truth to that.
The only reason you should be going to Denny's is for breakfast. That's it. Just the breakfast.
Any fast food,
and like you said,
like a different Waffle House.
Yeah, well, like you say, babe. If you just cover the club, yeah, okay, I can accept that. Just for breakfast.
Food restaurant, and that's fine because I don't consider myself fast food. I mean, I will get you your food fast, but I'm out here cooking for the Lord.
You a lunch snack.
I'm on a whole different level than these other bitches. No, bitch, you're fast food. Shut up.
God,
like, for real,
funky.
if you get your girl a leg and thigh, do not think you gonna get up in her legs and thighs that night. Let me tell you something. I wish you would take a bitch to Burger King on the first date.
You know what? This might be my class coming out. I do have standards. Burger King got a point right there. That's
on the first date.
It's kind of mess.
Yeah, I mean, if Burger King or McDonald's or Taco Bell, yeah, that's nah.
Don't even.
That is not a good first impression.
Do that on the 9th date.
Yes.
The fuck?
Yeah, just go there if you're both hungry and you're desperate and you need something to eat. That ain't no date. That ain't no.
You know what? That's her getting off of work.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing else open.
Yes.
Yeah, let's hit the drive-through.
Bitch, y'all put me on a list with Burger King.
That's it.
That's what you bitches think of me? Hey guys, not the best time, Taco Bell. Look guys, I heard about that list and I think there's someone who can help us.
So recently I was approached by multiple restaurants and list of places that women do not want to go on a first date. Let's try all of them and rate them 1 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Taco Bell. That is not your slogan, bitch.
Bitch, I just added Denver, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Fort Worth to my tour. Get your tickets today, bitch!
Jordan, Pauline, sister, we had your back. Girl, we had your back. We was ready to support you because we don't play when it comes to SA victims over here, period. But now, sister, he needs to sue you. He has to sue you. After seeing those...
Okay, let me give you a little backstory.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what's going on with this?
Evidently, this chick, Jordan Pauline, had a one-night stand with a dude, and now she's accusing him of SA. Unfortunately for her, the dude had receipts. And
wait, you blacked out for a second.
Okay.
You were starting at the explanation. So what happened? Start over. I'm sorry.
Jordan Pauline accused the dude of, SA. Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta.
Yeah. First off, who are these people? Who is Jordan and Pauline? Who is these people?
This woman claims she was SA'd by a popular streamer, and I am in no ways trying to defend this man, but there are some inconsistencies in her story that I just want y'all to hear.
XL, and it doesn't matter how I dress, you guys know I'm asexual. I keep my body to myself for a reason.
Whatever.
Okay. This is a perfect time for
Oh, thank you for the cue.
I know asexuals. They don't dress like that.
Yep.
They don't dress like prostitutes.
Yeah. I was about to say, how many asexuals do you know have blonde wigs? I'm sorry.
Let me do that one live for you. Huh?
I am a temple. I do not share myself with people, especially if I don't know them.
That part right there. Did y'all hear that? See, that's not what asexual is, baby. That means that you are not engaging in sexual activities with other people at all because you don't feel that way at all. You saying, especially if I don't
what kind of temple are you? I'll be right back, fellas.
Know them is like, okay, so sometimes we do, but in this case we didn't want to, which is valid. Not wanting to is cause enough, but let's keep listening.
He stopped anyways because I started boohoo crying, you guys.
So he did stop once you became visibly upset. That is correct.
As I'm crying like this, he was like, why are you crying? And I'm like, because like I didn't want to, like, you know. And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to talk to you again. I'm like, I don't care if you talk to me again. It doesn't matter if you talk to me again. It's the simple fact of like me not wanting to even go down that route because you have a girlfriend.
See, now I think we're getting to the root of the issue. We didn't want to because he had a girlfriend, not because you weren't attracted to him, not because you didn't maybe want to be close with him, but more so because he had a girlfriend. And that sounds a bit more like regret than essay to me. But I'm not a judge. What is my opinion? Nothing, I guess. And I say this with all love to victims of SA. I am one myself. I'm just saying, if you bring your case to the court of public opinion instead of, you know, an actual courthouse, people can pick you apart, babe, because that is not a testimony that would hold up in court. And I don't even know court like that. This woman claims she was SA'd by a popular streamer, and I am in no way trying to defend this man, but there are some inconsistencies in her story that I just want y'all to hear.
Like that, but you don't need to put
and it doesn't matter how I dress, you guys. You guys know I'm asexual.
You don't say no crap about some, well,
keep
I don't
my
want
body
to
to
because you have a girlfriend. You would say, I don't want to because I just don't want to. It's not my
share
deal.
myself with people,
You
especially if I
wouldn't be
don't know
in a
them.
room
That part right there.
alone
Did
with
y'all
him
hear
in
that?
that
See,
pole
that's not
position.
what asexual is, baby. That means that you are not engaging in sexual activities with other people at all because you don't feel that way at all. You saying, especially if I don't know them, is like, okay, so sometimes we do, but in this case, we didn't want to, which is valid. Not wanting to is cause enough, but let's keep listening.
He stopped anyways because I started boohoo crying, you guys.
So he did stop once you became visibly upset. That is correct.
As I'm crying like this, he was like, why are you crying? I'm like, because like I didn't want to, like, you know. And he's like,
oh boy. But y'all got the gist of the story now? Y'all there?
Yeah, she's full of crap. Like if she's, as I was saying, if she's asexual, she wouldn't be talking about them because you have a girlfriend. She wouldn't be alone in a room with him. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't be dressed like that. Asexuals, people do not put themselves in a situation like that. The only people who put themselves in a situation like that now talking crap are people who are trying to get over on somebody.
Yep.
That's why I don't even, when chicks be talking that crap, ain't nobody be listening to them.
Mm-hmm. But it was proven that she's full of shit. Let's watch.
It's dead wrong for that girl to do that to Talil, that Jordan girl, and then you got to sit there and turn off your comments so nobody can come over there. But you had all your comments on when you wanted to come out here and be fake crying on the daggone internet. It's so funny because when I seen that video, I didn't even watch the whole video. Because as someone that has been SA before as a child and MOLS'd it, I knew right then and there that this girl was not telling the truth. One thing about me, I use discernment. And I had a feeling that she was coming to the internet to either play this victim game because it was never true. She felt some type of way. Honestly, I felt like he blew her off. And that is the reason why she came to the internet with this false narrative.
Yeah, basically got a booty call and she was mad it didn't turn into something more.
Story.
Probably didn't want to pay her.
Which I was actually half right because she came to the internet with a false freaking story. When I say Talil put out so many daggone receipts, his receipts was motherfucking receipting. Jordan, you dead wrong for sitting there coming on this internet and falsely accusing that man of freaking essaying you when the whole time you was just upset because you thought something else was going to be different after y'all did what y'all did. You start mentioning, asking him, is it a daggone one night? You knew what it was. You knew this man had a girlfriend. Like, Miss Man, did you really think this man was going to leave his daggone girl for you? Nope. You couldn't have been that freaking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to think that man was leaving his girl for you. Where you messed up at is not getting the money before you laid in that bed. then you want to sit here and blackmail him or whatever and try to tell him that he need to give you freaking 2K. A person that has been SA ain't asking for no money after the fact.
Damn.
I'm just freaking doing the necessary steps to have you freaking locked up, prosecuted, and some more, because that's defamation. When it comes to you falsely reporting this with the police, which you basically stated on daggone X on Twitter, is that you did report it or whatever, and that you're still going through with it. Ma'am, Miss Ma'am, do you know that's perjury? You must not know that.
Something for Jordan Paul.
And yeah, these situations when it comes to this.
What you got for?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I got something else, but it's totally evil and it could be totally wrong, but I think I'll do it anyway. Where'd it go? Oh, no, it's not there. I got to find it in another folder. Go on.
It's like, it's so messed up for real freaking victims. Real victims like me. When they do come out and tell their story, people gonna be side-eyeing them and freaking not believing them because of people like you.
Hey, I got
you need to get on
side
the internet and apologize because the receipts is already put out there. There's no freaking coming back from this. You need to call that damn police station and tell them to drop it. And that you did this because for whatever your reasons that you did it for, because you was hurt, because you, at the end of the day, it was a one-night stand. Like, fuck it. How was you cool?
Yep. By the way, shout out to DC for the $10 Cash App, and you, sir, get a cha-ching.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
This woman claims she was essayed by a popular streamer, and I am in no ways trying to defend this man.
Jordan, Pauline, sister, we had your back. Girl, we had your back. We was ready to support you because we don't play when it comes to SA victims over here. Period. And now, sister, he needs to sue you. He has to sue you. After seeing those messages that he dropped, and the math is math and putting 2 and 2 together, along with a video recording of them talking about it being a one-night stand, and she didn't sound happy. He released all the evidence, and I'm gonna just say he needs to sue the fuck out you, sister. I'm sorry. Because the fact that you lied on him, girl, and you know how we get down when it comes to men. You know we gonna rally behind the women because it happens a lot. It do. But the fact that you lied about it all because this was a one-night stand and you knew he had a girlfriend, which shout out to the girlfriend because she did not take Tyleo's apology as she should, and she also posted that she is single. Period, sister. But Jordan, why did you lie? That's just so weird and cringy. All because your feelings hurt. You was ready to ruin this man's life, and I hate that you got me agreeing.
Yep.
Siding with a man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? That shit was
box. So he did get the box.
Yes.
So she's not asexual. She's just a whore.
Yeah.
Very disgusting, Jordan. You dead ass wrong. And I would not accept her apology if I was Tyleo, and I would sue her ass to the ground. I don't give a damn if she only got $2. Jordan, Pauline.
Number one, bitch? I was number one on that.
What I call Trump racists, we're voting for Biden.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Never heard Trump say that.
It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society.
He never said that either.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
So is that supposed to be the standard?
Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
Son asked me when was I born. I told him 1996. He gonna say, "Mama, so you was a slave?" What the fuck are they teaching these goddamn kids in school? Son asked me when.
She only told me
When was I born? I told him 1996. He gonna say, "Mama, so you was a slave?" What the fuck are they teaching these goddamn?
Why doesn't it feel like Christmas yet for millennials? That's because we haven't heard this.
He ain't lying.
Now
yeah, he's not lying about that. When you hear that, you know it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
When you see
now you've heard it.
You know it's Christmas.
Rest in peace to Rizzy. I hate that it takes these unfortunate tragedies for us to have real conversations.
This is a conversation that's going to step on a lot of toes, but let's have it.
Putting a smartphone in the hands of these single mother raised social degenerates that I see on TikTok is like putting a loaded firearm in the hands of a child.
Who is
Wasn't it even
Rizzy?
a week ago that these same people were?
She's a TikToker who unfortunately took her own life because she was getting
Is that
bullied.
the cosplay chick?
No, this is a different chick.
All right.
Blaming white people for the black woman cosplayer who had fallen victim to white supremacist social bullying. Yet nobody says anything when black people dogpile on each other on social media. Yeah, it's all fun and games that something happens like what just happened to Rizzy. If it were white people that caused Rizzy to unalive herself, then we'd be hearing all of these online activists screaming about racism and white supremacy. This is why I don't argue, fuss, fight, nor do I debate with the bastard offspring of social degeneracy, nor do I care to be anywhere online or offline where I know there will be. That's not called self-hate, that's called self-preservation.
Damn.
Damn and excuse me.
Can't make this stuff up. Let's
You can't make this up. Oh, that's a sound I don't have right now. Because I gotta
Who's that dude with all that gray in his beard?
Huh?
Who's that dude with all that gray in his beard?
Who, me?
Looks like somebody's uncle. Who is that?
Who
is that?
Dude, I am somebody's uncle. I got great nieces and nephews, man.
Good Lord. Whew.
No, deeper than that. I probably have some great nieces and nephews by now.
Are you the baby?
Yeah, I'm the let's just
all right, go ahead.
No, let's just talk about this a minute. Yeah, I'm the baby of 7 children.
Okay. I figured.
All my siblings are older than BGS.
Jesus Christopher.
Shit.
Yes.
How old are you? Ain't you in your 40s?
Yeah, I'm 40. I want to be 43 next month.
Good Lord.
My father was 50 when I was born.
You got insurance policies on your folks?
He's been dead for 20 years.
No, I meant your siblings.
Yeah, I think they got some money. And I got a little bit too, but
I'll be calling them up. What's your social, Greg? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I got 5 sisters and 1 brother. And I only found out about I found out about one of my sisters later. Because my mother came out of nowhere and said, "Oh yeah, your dad had a child when he was 16." I was like, "What's that? What's that?" We say, "Snowman." Huh?
You looking for this?
Huh? He came out of nowhere and said, "Yeah, your dad had a child when he was 16." I was like, "Huh?" And
do it right now.
So yeah, and I was young, and I'm the baby of the bunch.
Father had a child when he was 16.
All my brothers, well, actually, some of my sisters, my nieces and nephews are literally they're either older than me or they're my age.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, I went to high school. I went to high school with my nephew. And when people, people look at us crazy when we tell each other's relation, they're like, "Wait, that's your uncle, huh?"
Right.
Yeah, I knew a few families like that.
Same
being in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if my father had lived, he'd be 93. He's
Wow.
born 1932.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
It's how the family grows, man. But yeah, I got gray in the beard. Now I embrace it. I ain't dying shit.
If my mom had lived till top of next month or 2 next month, she would celebrate number 86.
Okay.
And
yeah, I ain't dying shit, man. You either like me or you don't. That's where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, I had a chick on TikTok call me Dusty because I tagged somebody. Like, this is the only time I'm going to tag you, and you look, I don't block you. I was like, okay, let me help you out. I blocked her.
Good move.
How?
I don't understand. I don't understand these chicks. It's like I'll block you. I'm like, Okay, I'll just look at him.
I'll save you the trouble.
Yeah, let me help you out. I'll block you first.
I ain't gonna even lie. I troll the hell out of people on TikTok, mainly Democrats. I troll the shit out of them.
I'm like, dude, I don't have time. I'm too old. I'm not chasing bitches like that no more. I ain't doing it.
Come here. What's the button I'm looking for? Oh shucks, I can't find it.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put my link in the chat.
Are you kidding? I can't.
Oh, by the way, this episode of Colosseum Night has been brought to you by. Is this the best of Black women have to offer politically?
Yes.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat, support the show. Oh, and this episode also been brought to you by Gynocracy Soup. The Black woman is God. Condensed lies and bullshit.
Shit.
Now with 1,000% extra sodium. That's a hell of a lot of salt. Damn.
You know, as a friend of ours said best.
I ain't got no time for this bullshit.
Yeah. I don't either.
Or the first one.
I am too old for this bullshit.
Got both of them.
Which is how I feel some days. When
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me play this simp right here because this has to be heard to be.
The problem with this generation is the men nowadays, they don't know the difference between tricking and doing the bare minimum for a woman. Just because she asks you to push that 175 for that manicure and pedicure don't mean you tricking. Matter of fact, you better be happy she didn't ask you to pay for that 613 with the HD lace and then you got to pay for the install. The problem with this generation
what did he say at the end?
Nowadays, they don't know the difference between tricking and doing the bare minimum for a woman. Just because she asks you to push that 175 for that manicure and pedicure don't mean you tricking. Matter of fact, you better be happy she didn't ask you to pay for that 613 with the HD lace and then you got to pay for the install.
Yet another nigga pandering for.
The problem.
Pandering for pussy. Oh my gosh!
Wait. Let me hear what he said again, please. Just one more time.
Okay.
I caught parts of it.
The problem with this generation is the men nowadays, they don't know the difference between tricking and doing the bare minimum for a woman. Just because she asks you to push that 175 for that manicure and pedicure don't mean you tricking.
Kill it.
Matter of fact, you better.
I've heard enough.
And my apologies, Snowman. I didn't give a fair warning.
Simp alert! Simp!
I got breaking news.
You didn't warn me about that.
Fulton County admits they violated the rules in 2020 when they certified 315,000 early votes that lacked poll worker signatures. We don't dispute the allegation. So the SOS also found FC violated official election processes. That means is so Fulton County, Georgia, Atlanta now admits they completely violated the law with their 2020 vote tally. Not only cost Trump the state, it also cost Republicans a Senate seat, which gave Democrats control in 2020. This is why this is why Trump had the files and they raided Mar-a-Lago. What's going on in Detroit? He knew about all of it. All them files that he took. That's why when he came into the White House, he been busy ever since January 20th. He's been busy because he already knew what files he took. He knew what the hell they were up to. And they tried to destroy him for it, but they couldn't. And he's reversing all of their shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, here's some more simps.
You can't call yourself a man if you're not paying for everything.
Time.
And away.
Time.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I just put that?
I am too old for this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the Lululand, where the Delilahs raise their sons to be the perfect Simpy McSimpleton man.
Yes, you pay for the date. Pay for the trip. You pay for her to eat.
I want you to make sure you listen to what he says clearly, because this is exactly how you end up getting used.
You pay for her nails. You pay for her hair. And the men that don't like to hear that are not men.
Translation, since I'm a sucker, everybody should be a sucker.
I don't know what you want me. How can you be masculine?
Boy, you don't have enough hair on your face to talk.
How can I be masculine? Go through what me and a few other men have went through, which is kick cancer's ass.
Yeah, boy, you ain't lived long enough to talk to us like that.
If you're not providing.
Flag on the plate.
Yes.
You can be plenty masculine and not allow your lady to blow all your money on nothing.
It's not about just paying for dates. It's not about just paying for food. It's about paying for everything. When you have it, though.
And here's where his theory falls apart like a cheap toy on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have it, she gonna leave your ass because you've gotten her so used to you doing everything. Once you can't do everything, she gonna find somebody else to do everything.
Let me emphasize that.
That's a goal shot right there.
Yep.
Black women was right the whole time. When it come to black men, like they said, y'all slow, can't read, can't comprehend, and just don't know shit. And I'm sitting back just chilling, reading the comment section. And y'all over here trying to tell me about some shoes. Y'all must forgot who I am. I'm the educator.
We don't even know who you are.
These goddamn shoes. I'm the one that shocked the whole world. It ain't nothing that y'all can tell me when it comes to shoes or materialistic shit. Black people mindset is the worst out of all races. I see why white people finesse the black community. I see why the Chinese people aim for the black community. I see why the Asian people aim for the.
There's an ongoing attack on femininity, and the only way out of that is to be dangerous. You know, I always teach ladies to be aware, to be alive. We should probably collab on.
I was about to say we should collab because I wrote a book called 41 Shades of Men: The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You. One of the men in there, number one.
Is this who I think it is?
Yes, that's Priscilla.
Man, give me this goddamn button.
I am too old for this book.
I had it too long.
Since people are using AI as the new propaganda towards black women. I have been doing heavy research on this, and majority of the videos that is created.
Well, put some bass in your voice.
By AI on black women has always been painted to be negative. It's always the center of a black woman doing something completely abhorrent or unjustified. Either that or they're constantly yelling at the screen. They're always angry. They're loud. They're fighting someone. It's more than just jealousy and hatred. It's obsession. When you have a particular obsession over a group of people, black women, that is obviously outperforming you than any other demographic in America. You're going to paint the narrative by any means necessary that not only black women cannot be trusted, have anger issues, and vile creatures. It is to ruin their social image and their reputation. They're doing that themselves. To convince millions of people.
Yes, they really are.
People. So once they see it more than enough times, it becomes a pattern, and they will be convinced for hundreds.
So we told them to go say that what that ever say that they don't want to live no man so they can stay musty. We told them to go do that shit. Really? Really?
I still can't believe I heard that earlier tonight. Jesus.
I ain't got no time for this bullshit.
Me neither.
I believe that there needs to be a separation between males and females.
Oh, so now you're still in our shit, Priscilla? Really?
In education. Because we are so caught up on equality that we do not want to acknowledge the differences between male and female neurology.
Hey, BGS, if you're watching, Priscilla's still in your shit.
And the way the school systems are set up, it is hurting males. It is keeping them unsocialized because you're trying to teach them like you teach little girls. and males are very physical, and there needs to be a different type of training. I believe that there needs to be a separation.
Hasn't BGS said I've only been around?
Priscilla's stealing your shit. If you're watching,
I've only been around the master teacher 3 years now, but hasn't he been saying? I believe he's been saying this for as long as I've been listening to him.
Yes,
and I went through some of his old stuff when I am from like 16 through 18 when I lived in Jasper, Indiana. Go on, please.
Between males and females in education, because we are so caught up on equality that we do not want to acknowledge the differences between male and female neurology.
When a man stops fighting for you, understand something. He didn't stop caring. You taught him his effort doesn't matter. Every gesture dismissed. Every attempt to lead met with resistance or criticism. That isn't him giving up on you. That's him finally accepting the pattern. Men don't bond through talking about feelings. They bond through action, through providing, through showing up and having that presence felt. When a man offers his time, his resources, his protection, and you treat it like it's expected instead of valued, something inside him shifts. Not dramatically, quietly. He doesn't announce he's pulling back. He just stops extending himself into spaces where he's not honored. That is self-preservation. That is maturity. And here's what women miss. A good man doesn't need you to perform or be perfect. He needs you to receive what he gives with grace. He needs his effort to be met with appreciation, not demands for more. When you weaponize his consistency, when you take his stability for granted, you create the very distance you'll later cry about. Men don't go cold because they're heartless. They go cold because warm doesn't work when it's not reciprocated. If he's still showing up, still trying, honor that before he stops trying altogether. Energy matches energy.
Tried to tell him a couple of my exes this.
A new incident at a Wendy's restaurant is going viral online. A woman completely lost control inside the restaurant right in front of her young son. At first, she appeared calm, speaking normally with the
hey, babe, we told black women to do this, right?
Staff, but within seconds, her mood shifted without warning. She began shouting at employees, and the situation quickly spiraled out of control. She started throwing things around the restaurant in anger. Cups, straws, and items on the counter were swept onto the floor. The noise was loud, the atmosphere tense, and her child stood right there watching everything happen.
You know, sometimes I'm dead serious when I say this. I'm gonna you take this out for me. I'm dead serious when I say this. Sometimes I thank God I don't have children, and it's not that I don't love children.
Right.
It's because I would be in jail for hurting their mamas.
I agree with that.
I would be in jail. I would be in jail because the shit that these single mothers be doing.
Oh gosh.
That would not go unanswered. No.
I'm going to use a big word, and I know my wife's going to tease me for using said word. But that's reprehensible to say the least.
Yes.
And why does my wife tease me? Well, if you all have seen Jody, you know why. Because a black man's not supposed to know those big words, and yet she knows most of the same words I do, the long ones and the short ones.
But yeah, that's just that reprehensible, that kind of shit. Me and her would have had words after that. She would have been begging for the police to take her.
Would have been more than words. Had it been me, would have been more than words, because given who I was raised by and who I was around, you're not supposed to do that, to say the least.
Here's where I stand on it. These are the type of women who, when the government assistance runs out, when the child support checks run out because the kid is now 18.
Yeah.
These are the ones that they find themselves homeless.
Yep.
So, I mean, they get their little Section 8 voucher, but as we saw last year, at the start of November 2023, actually, a lot of houses and housing complexes, apartment complexes stopped taking Section 8.
Yes,
indeed.
And these people wound up under bridges because their children wanted nothing to do with them. They raised simp sons.
Yep.
And then eventually their simp son has an epiphany
and gets the hell out
when mama is 60, and then it's over for them. It's over for them. So karma is coming. It's just that, you know, she walking instead of taking the bus or driving the car. She walking. She taking her time. She ain't in no hurry.
I'll leave y'all with this because I'm gonna finish my OBS stuff and then I'm going to bed. It's the simplest rule that my dad gave me before he passed away in 2007. Get out or get the hell out.
Option C, get the
option. I took option C. I got the absolute bloody fuck out. And oh, by the way, B-dubs, I ain't coming back.
But to your point, Bay, actually got a little clip from Kendra, the Crimson Cure, that goes to your point.
Crimson Nights, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. Hostess, femininity coach, and author, The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I wanted to display this not necessarily because of who they are, but some of you might recognize maybe these people. This is actually Blueface and his mother Carlissa having a heated conversation. Now, I don't never watch none of the little shows or whatever it is.
For those who don't know, Blueface is Crenshaw and Rock's baby daddy.
They be on. But enough of this mess comes across my timeline that I know that they're very toxic. I know that she's very immature. I know that Blueface was dating Krishan Rock, got a baby with her. I know he was in jail. I think he is a Crip, allegedly. And it's just a lot of foolishness. But every once in a while, you get down into where the toxicity be coming from.
Yep.
And it was obvious to me that him and his mother don't have a good relationship. Like, it's not a healthy relationship. It doesn't have healthy boundaries in it. It crosses a lot of boundaries. It crosses all the boundaries that son-husband relationships cross. When you have single mothers who are immature and who don't know what they're doing and don't know how to raise sons. So it might be some language in here, but just take a listen.
There's nothing other than you're a problem. You need to grow up.
I'm never gonna let. He mumbling, but he said you're the problem and you need to grow up. That's what he just said.
Nobody be on the back of me, baby. Whether it's, even if it would have been my friend.
I ain't saying Krishan, whoop your ass, man.
So what are you saying, Jonathan?
I'm saying I need you to be a mother, not a networker, not a baddie, not a squawker.
I'm not about to let nobody in no club jump on my back over no gate.
I'm about to show you the video.
I have no reason to lie. Don't call me no liar, Jonathan.
Listen to the language. Is that how you talk to your son or your man?
Well, she did say she knew what his penis looked like.
Oh, damn. Well,
as an
All
adult
I want to
man.
know is before Jonathan got there, didn't me and you already kiki and give hugs and kisses? So there was no reason for me to turn around and body slam you off of me. If this, who the fuck are you calling Krishan? Why are you calling me Krishan? You a turn a bitch from a Crip to a Blood, have them barking at the door. Can you have them turn to Jesus Christ?
It's that simple. You're not my woman, Mom.
And I would never, ever, ever use a motherfucking lie. Ain't now one of them niggas stepped up and said they hit this. Use a goddamn lie. You're gonna give me the goddamn money.
The look on his face. Like, what?
Well, now we understand why he's a Crip. Good Lord.
Make it enough.
I never realized nothing other than you.
Now, we don't need a lot more context. We really don't. In order to understand this exchange, you don't even need no background. Those of us who know, if you know, you know. You don't need no background for this. We know exactly what's happening between these two. Okay? A lot of why he's messed up is sitting right next to him.
Pretty much.
We don't know what this young man could have been, or other young men and young women could have been without these hyenas that's raising them. She's having an argument with her son, her biological son. This is an argument that a chick would have with a Negro she messing with. That's what it sounds like. This is why I say son husbanding is emotional incest, even if there's never been any physical contact or sexual contact. It doesn't have to be. It's emotional. It's emotionally incestuous.
Yes.
Because it crosses all the boundaries except physically and sexually.
Yes.
Because the dynamic is not mother-son. It's not I'm the authority or I'm the authoritative figure or the parental figure or a figure of respect. And you're simply my adult son. And we have a respectable mother-son relationship. Of course, it has changed over the years because I'm no longer raising you. You're an adult now. But she's having an argument with this boy like that's her man. And then at the end of the argument was entitled enough to still try to make sure that he sent whatever money she asked for. Like a hood chick would say to the Negro that she dealing with, did you send the money or not? You go give me the money or not? He can't have good relationships. And I'm not even really taking full accountability off of him because Blueface is grown. And he not no 19 and 20. Blueface is well into his 20s. He might be in his late 20s at this point. So he has a responsibility to address his own self and his own problems, even if the root of his problems is sitting right there. But at the same time,
okay, that's enough of that. Before we go to the next segment, we need to talk about AI for a little bit. There's a lot of innuendo out there that AI is going to replace programmers. Well, coming from a programmer, I'm here to tell you that is just total bullshit. Don't believe me? Let's hear from another programmer.
There are two really interesting articles that have come across my desk recently about my favorite topic, or maybe my least favorite topic at this point, AI. But these, I think, are worth exploring a little bit because they are from one, the inventor of vibe coding, Andrej Karpathy, who has now said that he is going against the vibe coding madness, the vibe coding disease, which has infected software development. And there's another article about the recent layoffs from Amazon. And what I think these point to is a greater problem that's happening right now is that we are so deep into the hype of AI, and it is having real world consequences and real world effects on people. I'm going to be speaking at a small college tonight, and I was at an event a couple weeks ago in San Francisco where I heard somebody say this phrase that really got to me. They said, we don't really need software developers anymore. And this wasn't coming from somebody who is a software developer. It's coming from somebody who's a CEO at a company. And I thought,
yeah, a lot of these CEOs are going to go out and be out of business. Babe, what's the first thing they teach you in business class? 96% of business go out of business.
Always be closing.
This is really
always be close. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because then a young woman who I spoke to afterwards, she admitted to me that she is fearful for her future. And I think that's a lot of us, whether we're in software, whether we're young, whether we're old, we're hearing so many conflicting things. And even I sometimes really doubt my own opinions and takes on AI and what it's going to do. Because in reality, no one knows. So we're looking at all this news and we're trying to decide our future. Like, what should we go into? What should our kids learn? Is it worth learning to code? Am I in danger of being made obsolete by AI? And I don't know if I have the answer to these questions, but I do think that these articles point to something really, really interesting, which is that the hype is so strong, but the reality is so different. So Andrej Karpathy, he coined this term vibe coding, right? He's the guy that made up the term vibe coding. He is a genius, and he's responsible for a lot of the AI advancements we've made, as well as this now terrible phrase. Vibe coding actually didn't start off as a bad thing. Vibe coding was basically just letting an LLM, a large language model, dictate how you write a bunch of code. You really had no intervention with the LLM. You would just say, hey, go out there and write me some code. And it was cool, right? It was kind of cool watching it do its thing. Was the code good? No. Was it going to be usable in a production environment or a scale to like thousands of users? Probably not. Did it look cool? Was it kind of fun to do on the weekend? Yeah, absolutely. You had an idea in your head. You wanted to just get it out. Totally fun to do, right? So he says now that he built something.
That's the thing. He said this is a good thing to do for a side, quote unquote, side of project, not stuff that you put in production. But these knuckleheads get companies, think they know everything.
Recently, and he said it's basically entirely handwritten. He said, I tried to use Claude. I tried to use Codex agents a few times, but far off the data distribution. Now, what I think he means when he said that is that there is a set of training data, right? A massive set of training data that OpenAI or all these different large language model providers have access to. They basically scrape the entire web. So they have access to all this data, everything that's ever been created. Now, there's a problem with that, obviously. If you're working on something novel, something unique, something that hasn't been done before or just doesn't have as much training data, you're less likely to get the results which you want. Now, I can't prove this. I'm sure Andrej could because he's a freaking genius. But when this dude says, hey, Claude, Codex, they're not working well enough for me, this goes directly in the face of every AI bro out there that's telling you, oh, you just need to use this tool, or, oh, you need to use this particular flow to 10x or whatever it is. So here's the guy that I'm guaranteeing
all y'all that want to get into AI, pay attention.
Better than all the people you're reading on LinkedIn. He's way better than I am. And he's saying, no, it's just not going to work. He's like, sometimes the LLMs can't fix a bug. So it just work around it or asks for random changes until it goes away. He said, it's not too bad for throwaway weekend projects, but it's still quite amusing. Right. And they go on to say, hey, researchers found that AI actually slows down developers. I feel like the normies and the people that aren't into coding are actually finally starting to see what a lot of us that write code for a living are seeing, that, hey, this isn't really all it's cracked up to be. And then it ends off with, not only will we have masses of broken code full of security vulnerabilities, but we have a new generation of programmers incapable of dealing with those vulnerabilities. This is not a good thing for our future.
I've always said this because I've been working. I actually use AI to help me code, and I can tell you, if you don't understand the context of what you're coding, AI is useless. AI will give you slop. Hands down, it will give you slop. If you don't understand what you're coding, AI is useless. I would never give Copilot to a beginner programmer. No, you need to learn the basics first before you get into having AI do stuff for you. If you don't know what an if statement is, you can't tell me what a string is, you can't tell me what an array is, you have no business using AI, plain and simple. Can't tell me what a list is, can't tell me what JSON is. Don't talk to me about using AI.
As software developers, or the world, if I'm being, a little bit hyperbolic here. But I mean, seriously, if we make a generation of people that either think, one, programming is dead, no one should learn to do it, or that vibe coding is the solution to creating software, then we are shooting ourselves in both feet trying to run a marathon and competing with other countries that I bet you are going to eat our lunch in the near future if we don't reinvest in the future, in our
Exactly.
children, as corny as that sounds, but we cannot just tell
Trump is trying to do that.
Kids, hey, AI is replacing all jobs. Don't do anything. Give up. It's too late. Don't learn to code. Do anything else for God's sakes. It's like, no. This is ham-fisted, knee-jerk reactions to something that most people do not understand. And this last article, which I want to end off with, which is AI isn't replacing jobs. AI spending is. I've said this. I'm sure that most people are kind of realizing this. And it's like ridiculous when you see these layoff news articles. It says, hey, we're firing 14,000 people from Amazon.
Don't get me wrong. AI is a good assistant for helping you code, but I'm not letting that thing write my code write my code for me.
Amazon. And they go directly into this. They say that we remain skeptical of the claim that AI is responsible for these layoffs. And they're talking about Amazon specifically. They say that 40% of the business people have received AI slop that were interviewed, that they've interviewed in other studies, that 40% of businesses that say, hey, we're using AI, they are complaining about AI slop, and that this AI slop takes nearly 2 hours on average to fix. Now, when they say AI slop, I think we all know what that means. You read the LinkedIn posts, you read the terrible articles out there that are obviously AI generated, or the YouTube videos, or all the stuff on Sora. It's just slop. It's garbage. Like, no one wants to read or look at most of that stuff for the most part. It's not taking off. There's no AI artist or no AI comedian or no AI poet or author or whatever that we're all in love with right now, right? They just don't exist because no one wants to hear or see that junk. It's kind of funny, but beyond that, it's like a parlor trick, right? And then we have even a more consequential instance of AI slop recently, when a very famous consulting company named Deloitte published a paper for a government they were contracted to do so. And that paper ended up being full of errors, hallucinations, aka lies that were made up by AI. And they have to pay a hefty fine for this. So to think that AI, which is nowhere near replacing really any humans at this point, is already doing that, it doesn't just make common sense. It makes no logical sense. And then the article goes on to say, for layoffs in the tech sector, a likely culprit is the financial stress that companies are experiencing because of their huge spending on AI infrastructure. Yeah, could it be? I mean, they're spending tens of billions of dollars on AI infrastructure, basically on the promise that it will deliver the cost cutting or productivity gains that they really hope to gain, right? So it says,
I'm going to play another video of his where he talks about his experience working at one of these startup companies that are on this AI stick.
I just spent 6 months at a very fast-paced AI startup, and I quit. Today is my last day, and I want to share some lessons that I've learned working in this startup, working with AI in general, and about the future of interviews, software development, and what I've seen trying to hire my replacement, and some of the worst, most rampant cheating I've ever seen. But before we get into that, I want to go through some of my major takeaways here, because I think what I'm going through is representative of what a lot of software developers are going through. And if you're very new to the field, I think this could be the way that you'll be working in the very near future, which is a little bit different, and in some ways a lot different than how we've worked in the past. We're in this really strange moment right now where everybody's basically being told to do more with less. We have layoffs, we have AI, and essentially CEOs are telling us, do more with the workers you have. And then you have people online telling you nonsense, in my opinion, about the tech job market and how it's impossible to get a job, or take whatever offer you can get, or AI has replaced the need for junior developers. I've talked extensively about why I think that's not true, and also why the statistics and the numbers don't really prove out that story. Things aren't all roses and candy canes, obviously, but they're not as doom and gloom as many people would make you out to believe. Oftentimes, the people with the loudest microphones have the worst stories, because boring stories like, hey, I'm getting paid kind of all right in a job I'm okay with, is a lot less interesting than, hey, I went from making $500,000 a year, now I'm working at McDonald's. But anyway, when I joined this really small AI startup, it was really at the height of the AI madness and hype cycle. And there is a pervasive myth that I want to pop. And I hope if you're a CEO listening to this, or a junior developer, that you really take heed to this. This whole you can do more with
McTell Universe is paying attention.
less because of AI thing is a ridiculous myth. When I joined this most recent team, it was basically me and a data scientist. We were told to move really fast, use AI. We're going to basically vibe code this whole thing from scratch. And it kind of worked, actually. To be completely honest, we had a prototype that looked pretty damn cool, and it really did feel magical. It felt almost like we could probably build this over a few weeks if we really put our minds to it, and maybe the tools really are that good. I honestly started to feel a lot less secure in my role as a developer. I thought, man, maybe I was wrong. Maybe the tools really are so good that we are going to be replaced. It took around 6 weeks or so, or maybe a little bit less, for that honeymoon to end. When we went from prototype into something in production, meaning something that we had in a demo environment, to something that we actually wanted to show people or use that had some real value and real functionality, it became immediately clear that this was not going to work. And let me explain some very specific scenarios here. We had a data pipeline, pretty complicated, complex thing that costs money to run. It would ingest tons of data. It would use different APIs, which are not free and have rate limits. It was essentially the heart of our app. Without good data, you really don't have anything. Now, if you're producing this code that is ultimately responsible for gathering this data, and you're trying to move at breakneck speed.
Yeah, working with some APIs is not cheap.
Well, you're ultimately just taking whatever the AI puts out to you. This is the definition of vibe coding. This is not vibe engineering or whatever other buzzword came out this week. The idea of vibe coding was essentially that you would prompt the AI, it would do the thing, you'd kind of make sure it kind of worked, and you'd move on. The problem with this approach, though, is that you generate tons of code, and the faster you go, the more you...
Oh, yes, tons of code that you have to debug. And sometimes, you
rely on AI to keep improving what the AI has already put out. This results in barely working, pretty sloppy code, and overall, AI code tools seem basically incentivized to give you the most amount of code to do something. And if you're a software engineer, you probably already know this, but code is a liability. Ideally, you want less surface area for bugs rather than lots and lots of code. Because remember, other humans will ultimately work with your code. And because you're spending actual human dollars on the service that is deployed out there in the cloud somewhere, you can't just blame the AI when things go wrong. So at some point, we basically had to rip this apart and start from scratch. Now, the AI tools did give us a very good baseline to start from, but if we had just kept going down this path, we would have slowed down tremendously. And I'll speak more about that slowdown in a minute. Here's another big takeaway. CEOs actually should vibe code, but they should never, ever touch real code. At one point, we told our CEOs, hey, write some code with ChatGPT. Use Vercel's V0, which is essentially this like AI code generator tool that would spit out a whole app from a prompt, right? So they'd paste in their questions like, hey, how do I build a RAG system? And they'd get this textbook style answer. Here's the big problem with some of the architectural decisions that a tool like ChatGPT can make. The answers that it gives sound really good in system design interviews, but real software is not built like a system design interview or like a textbook that you've read in school or like.
Bang, I can tell you, real software is nasty. You have to sometimes, if you want to work like the software you use on a regular basis, you have to do some nasty shit.
Some dude on YouTube telling you how to build Shopify. In fact, Shopify, one of, if not the largest e-com store in the world, runs on a monolith, not microservices. If you don't know what those two things are, look them up. In fact, maybe ask ChatGPT, what would it use?
Yeah, a monolith is basically a system that works together. Microservices are a bunch of independent systems that you can glue together. Some people glue together to make a product. Me personally, I don't think that's a good idea to have your system rely on a bunch of microservices. You need to rely on your own code. If you can't code it, well, you probably have no business program in it. But anyway.
If it had to construct a massive e-commerce store, would it use microservices or a monolith, and why? And you'll probably see the issue here. It'll probably tell you to use microservices when in fact, large companies like...
No, microservices is a very bad idea because you got to remember, when using microservices, you're using somebody else's code. And not everybody maintains their code. So, yeah. It's called security holes.
Shopify oftentimes use monoliths. And then you have companies like PayPal or NASA who use JavaScript or TypeScript on the back end. And if you listen to anybody on LinkedIn or Twitter, they'll tell you that this is the stupidest thing in the world and nobody uses JavaScript on the back end. None of this stuff is best practices, but a
lot of people use JavaScript on the back end.
The most popular and profitable companies in the world use these practices. Now, I will say this, having the CEOs vibe code or just prompt their way to a beautiful UI that didn't really work was super cool, because then they could hand it off to us. We'd have some working code. We'd at least have the CSS files, and we could go from there. But even like at the most basic level of junior developer, that is something that I wouldn't even give a junior developer a task to do on their first day.
Yep.
Right? This is like simple stuff in a coding boot camp you might learn, or maybe in high school or college, or however you're learning how to code. This isn't really real deep work that's valuable, but it is really helpful at the same time to give your developer team this prototype saying, hey, here's a kind of not working prototype. Here's some working code. I just kind of want it to look like this. Here's what's in my mind. And now it's out here for you to look at. Maybe you can steal some of the code. Yeah, cool. I can use 5% of this. Now, back to that AI productivity myth. AI made us slower, not faster. Now, this really confused me, and I kind of didn't want to believe it, or I thought maybe I'm just jaded, or maybe I'm trying to find a reason not to use AI or something like that. Maybe I just need to be aware of my own bias.
No, AI will make you slower because it'll produce code, and you're like, why did it produce that?
And just accept the fact that AI is the best thing since sliced bread, and we will use it and we will love it. And I'm sure some of you are hearing this and you're thinking, oh, you know, you just have a skills issue, or you should have used this model. I hate when people say that. I'm on a team of pretty smart people. These people are much more senior than me. Some of them been writing code for decades. Some of them really, really bright people. Here's the thing. We generated a lot of code with AI, and maybe this was our mistake. Because we were moving so fast, we had to generate a ton of code with AI. Now, at some point, you can't fully understand what the code is doing, why it's there, why is it so verbose, why are there 10 readmes here. It's not meant for human consumption. Things were breaking constantly, and we were just moving too fast. The idea of just having AI take these prompts.
A lot of people don't understand. Even when your code compiles properly, you have no errors, it can still break when you're running it live. Your code can still break. If you forgot to instantiate something, your code can still break. And you got to check for that kind of shit.
Or even really detailed specs. We have these rules documents, and all the things that we tried to tame the AI just didn't work. We were really trying to vibe code our way into a production app. And what we saw eventually is that the number of errors that we were getting back and the number of broken things that were coming back, even with test cases, even with all these other guardrails, even with specs, all these things, they were just ultimately slowing us down. If I want to write a React component, for example, handwriting a React component might be slower than having an AI produce it, until you have to debug a 1,000-line long file that has all these premature optimizations and things that—
oh, good Lord, 1,000 lines of JavaScript. It's not fun at all.
It makes zero sense at all. Researching a database and reading actual articles online or going to documents takes longer than just asking ChatGPT, hey, what vector store and what cloud service provider should I be using? It also means that you're getting a lot more relevant information that a machine or an AI tool just won't know, or even worse, just hallucinate. So counterintuitively, going slower and handwriting some of your code ahead of time, or just using your brain to think, actually saves a lot of time in the long run. And there are some studies that prove this as well. There's a famous study out there by some really smart nerds that shows that software developers who are using AI, senior ones, were 20% slower with AI than without it, even though they thought they were actually 20% faster. Go figure. Now, here's the worst takeaway here. I'm trying to find my replacement for this. And one, it's been pretty difficult to find people that have a unique mix of like full stack software skills, like using Next.js and React, but also know a bit about AI stuff, like integrating large language models, retrieval augmented generation, how to use structured outputs, writing tests for things that use large language models, building agents. It's not that these skills are so difficult to learn. In fact, they're really not. It's just that most people don't have any practical experience doing them yet because it's so new. And I see a massive opportunity for you out there if you're thinking of what do I learn next? And to me, it's simple. The thing that you learn next, quite obviously, is how to integrate AI into web applications. And beyond that, if you want something very specific to learn RAG. I've been saying this for almost a full year now. companies are kind of consolidating around this as the choice, the most practical use case for AI. If you're not learning RAG, if you're not learning how to integrate AI into web applications, and you're a software developer who mostly works on the front end, I think you're doing yourself a massive disservice. Anyway, we've interviewed around 6 people at this point, and what I've seen has honestly shocked me. Now, we've met some really top-notch people. I've met some people that I'm like, whoa, you are smart and you're doing some cool stuff. Even them, they haven't had as much experience with some of these tools as we'd like, but we get it. They can learn. They're really smart. They're going to figure it out. But at least 2 candidates at this time have just completely cheated. Here's the thing, though. We actually allow people to use AI during the coding portion of the exam. We say, just keep on whatever tool you want to use. You want to use Claude, you want to use Cursor, you want to use something we've never heard of. We don't care. All we want to see is you work with the problem and then tell us how you're thinking of the problem. Here's the thing. People might think, oh, that's easy. I would pass that. No, you wouldn't. I've seen what most people do. They'll just get an answer, plop it in there, and you ask them how it works. They have no freaking clue. Or you ask them something like, well, what could go wrong? Or you say, what if I told you this constraint? How could we make this so complex that it's ridiculous? What if I increase the input by an order of 10? What happens then? What do you think about adding tests? What's your opinion on adding tests? Would you add a test in this scenario? Why or why not? These are things an AI tool just can't spit out for you. This requires actual human thought. And this is often where people just fail, or they'll try to just keep reprompting until they can get something that looks like what we want, rather than actually massaging the code into something that a human being or a software team would find acceptable. But anyway, we let these people use AI and they still freaking cheated. Here's how we can spot it instantly in case you're even considering doing this, but I really hope you're not. This was really strange because in both the interviews where people cheated, we noticed these telltale signs immediately. You'd ask a question and there would be this weird delay. Like the person would say some random thing like, oh, that's a great question. And then they would like get to answering the question. After you do that 10 times, it becomes a little odd, and they would kind of bumble with their words until they answered the question. And then it would be like a textbook perfect answer. At first, I actually was fooled and I thought, oh, this person really knows what they're talking about. They could be a great fit. Here's another telltale sign, the eyes. When your eyes are moving around on a screen, it looks like you're reading something, or maybe there's a glow on your glasses, or maybe you have a reflection on your screen and we can see that you're reading something off the screen. This isn't a deal breaker immediately. I get it. People have notes and things like that. Not a huge deal. But here's where things got really, really weird. We'd ask them to explain the code. Now, one person in particular didn't know like anything. Like, hey, how does a backend route work compared to HTML and CSS? Hey, what is const versus let in JavaScript or something like that? This guy was completely frozen. I was like, this is very scary that he got this far. And here he is in real time.
Oh, for the record, those you don't know, const and let are different parameters you put on variables that you want to use in JavaScript. They're actually relatively new terms, but very useful. Const is probably closer to read on something you want read only, and let is your typical variable.
And crashing and burning. He just hung up the call in the middle of it because I was kind of pressing him on why he didn't know super simple things when it showed on his resume and application that he was supposed to know this stuff. He said he'd been writing React and Next.js for years, and he didn't know the first thing about Next.js or React or even JavaScript or maybe even coding at all. The guy quit.
Yeah, Next.js and React are totally different JavaScript frameworks. And you should probably have an idea what those frameworks do before you interview for a job for them.
Are you playing around with AI?
Yes, of course.
What are you doing with it?
I'm using Copilot. It's kind of like ChatGPT for coders. It actually reads your own code base and helps you write code faster.
Oh, okay. What are you doing with it?
I'm using it to build. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me. I gotta change my profile on OBS here. So put it to desktop, my default, and all right. Let's go make sure my virtual camera's on. Desktop app and let's see here. Let me Bring this out. Make me number one. Now you can't see it, but this black spot right here, that's a web browser.
Okay.
And it's linked directly to StreamYard. And
Okay.
I literally use this application to build my live streams. I write my description right here.
So you're using it to build your live streams?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't added it yet, but I'm going to probably make another text box down here for the tags, and I just build it all in here, and I haven't added to my list. You can't. The browser won't show up in the UBS, the OBS, but that's a web browser, and it links directly to StreamYard. I can have it linked to any website I want. I'm gonna eventually add YouTube, TikTok, and I can do it all from here in this one program.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I've been like getting back into like the photography thing.
Okay.
Trying to figure out what to do with it, but now I know I'm gonna use it for for business purposes, as far as like, because we get on like my homeboy, he hosts like these game nights, right?
Right.
So in order to attract more customers, we're gonna hire a promo model.
Have you looked at Affinity? Have you looked at Affinity by Canva?
For what?
For like you say you're getting back in photography. I'm assuming you edit your photos, right?
Yeah, I mean my stuff is already edited.
Okay.
Right. I mean my whole thing is that I've been using it for advertising.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I've been using it for advertising because it, like you can with CapCut and everything, Wondershare and whatnot, they make it so much easier. All you gotta do is just give it a prompt, or even write out whatever goofy little stuff you call yourself right now, and it'll clean it up for you, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do the whole special effects, whatnot. So I've been doing that. I like it. I have to admit, I like it. Have you seen my photos on my TikTok?
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, which ones?
It's been a while, so hold on. Wait.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, hold on. I'll show you. Oh, I'll show you. Is this the right page? Let me make sure this is the right page.
Here's another example of me. I got to upload it first, but here.
Take a look at that.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
The link. Here, I'll put it in the back chat.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's look in the back chat. Okay.
Yeah, I've been using the AI programs to bring the photos to life. Like if you hover your mouse over the pictures, because some of this stuff has some words in it. How TikTok has got that automatic sound now.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean you don't want to really play that. They got some very vulgar language, but if you hover your mouse over the photo, you can see how the images are just coming to life.
Yeah. Here's another example. Actually, it's my thumbnail for this video. These characters here, generated by AI. Only big, but here's the funny part. These characters were actually in black and white. I just went in and colored them.
And colored them?
Yep.
Yeah. I know. I wrote a comic book back in the 90s. I've been really thinking about like putting it online, but so far the AI hasn't figured out how to create the book, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Like it'll take my words and everything, but it doesn't know how to create the characters to make it. And then when I go to these different sites in order to create the characters, they can't create it the way that I need to. Like they look like, like figures, just standing there or whatnot, but I can't get them to do any jumps, flips, or nothing like that. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, that's where skill comes in. Like I said, these were both black and white images. I was skilled enough. I took them into wasn't Photoshop. It was Affinity. It was Affinity Photo at the time, and I just colored it. I used the multiply filter and I colored all that.
Yeah, I would say I would give it another 6 months. 6 months till it gets to where we feel that we can use it the way we need to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just takes time. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I use AI when I'm doing thumbnails, like this picture right here. All these pictures right here, they had background. I just took them out with AI. I used AI to take them out and and to make this collage.
CapCut took that away.
Really?
Well, you could take out the backgrounds and do this.
Oh, well, let me guess. They put it behind the paywall.
No, it's just gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? In fact, I just fired up CapCut right now. Let's see. All I get is a blank white screen now. All I get is a blank white screen from CapCut. I don't know what the hell they did trying to change their system or whatnot, but they've destroyed it. They've destroyed it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop paying these motherfuckers. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me.
Well, I'm paying them. It is worth it. So that's why our Amazon warehouses are refiguring the fifth floor for the fourth time. Yeah, you I ain't gonna lie to you. You might get replaced by a robot one day. That's where Amazon want to go. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing over in China. That's one of the reasons why there's such a big push for AI is because, quite frankly, China is kicking our ass in technology. And there's not much we could do about it. And it's our fault because we gave them the shit to kick our ass in technology. That's why
that's why the NVIDIA was so important with those chips and everything. They cut them off. They're cutting China off. I love it. I am not mad at it.
And they're still kicking our ass, unfortunately.
It's all right. Give it time. Give it time.
Pretty smart of him because we're going to end the interview anyway and just kick rocks. All in all, people got through the first round of interviews, but no one made it past the second round who was cheating because it was very obvious in that second round, within about 30 minutes max, that we would see you're cheating. As soon as we started doing the coding portion, within about 5 minutes, honestly, it's completely obvious. Now, here's one other major sign is when their cursor would be doing all these strange things as you're talking to them. It's like, why is your cursor turning into a crosshair? Why is your cursor going over there when your code is over here? Anyway, if you're tempted to use these tools, don't. One of the ones I saw is $900, and you're not only going to get caught doing it, but you're going to get blacklisted from those companies from ever coming back again. There is a document we keep track of all this stuff. And imagine if we just wanted to name and shame them. Would that be so wrong? I honestly don't think so. It's actually pretty scary, the fact that some people are out there trying to fool others to get into jobs they have no business getting into. And I wonder, where do you go from there? What happens if we do hire you? How are you going to be on a 5-person team faking it? And if you think, oh, I'll just use AI, well, that kind of tells me your seniority already, because if you really think that AI could just get you through a 5-person team or maybe even a few months into a job or even a few weeks, I think you have a lot to learn. So anyway, I know that our jobs are changing quite dramatically.
What's that you used to say all the time? Much to learn. You still have.
But honestly, I think the biggest change out there is expectations. I think more than ever, developers have to know where the AI hype ends and where reality begins and help.
Yep. Y'all got the gist of that. Now, before we get out of here, we got to pick on Roly Poly for a little bit.
Ken Martin, Greg, who is the...
You might want to cover this too. This is one of the, on this channel.
Chair of the Democrat National Committee, announcing that the DNC is scrapping their report. of what went wrong in the 2024 election. Had some people who were hitting me today, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is ridiculous. They shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong." And I was like, "No, actually, it's not. It's not. Because first, I've already seen 2 autopsies. In fact, if I'm correct, and Reese, you may have seen this as well, and Greg and Joy, y'all may have seen this. I swore earlier this week, let me pull it up.
2 autopsies of who?
And look, here's my autopsy of what happened. You sold your country a dementia patient with stage 4 cancer and an incompetent AKA who stepped her way to the top, who wasn't fit to be president. That's why you lost. That's why you lost.
They have no candidates. They're not going to have any candidates for the next 2 elections.
Yeah, they talking about running Kamala Harris again.
Go ahead. Please go ahead. Make Jasmine Crockett her VP. Put AOC in there. Throw them all in there.
This week, or was it last week? Somebody posted something called, right here. Somebody posted democratautautopsy.org. And it's a Roots Action report on the 2024 presidential election called Autopsy, How Democrats Lost the White House. And you can actually download it and you can read the report online. So if I click right here, I can read the whole report and download it, whatever. And so here's my whole deal. If I'm Ken Martin, I'm not trying to have another what happened last year conversation because the 2024 election is over. Okay? It's over. We all know how they lost. This report says it right here, and it jumps out.
Well, they also lost because they listened to your dumb ass, but anyway.
6.8 million fewer people voted for Harris than they did for Joe Biden.
Whose fault is that? You didn't give them a reason to vote. Whose fault is that?
It talked about the impact of Israel and Gaza. It talked about Harris not cutting herself from a lot of Biden policies. All right, she talked about it in her book. All right, we're good. So if I'm Ken Martin, hell no, I'm not talking about it because
my party already looks bad. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, Bay. Democrats' approval rate went even lower. It's now at 18%.
Well, I mean, Trump is dismantling them bit by bit, and the biggest piece that he's done, he's killed their money with Doge.
Yes.
Now he's killing their media apparatus through his quote unquote friends, his billionaire friends that are buying up. Let's see, they bought what? CBS, Paramount. Now that Netflix deal is about to go through, which means, and they don't want CNN. So the guy who now owns CBS, he's going to buy CNN from Netflix. So their media apparatuses are being destroyed. Their financial apparatuses are being destroyed. Them drug boats that they're blowing out of the water that these Democrats are getting all cracked out over, their underground criminal economy is going under. You wanted the Epstein files out there. Now you're being disgraced in front of the whole world. So now you want to take out Pam Bondi. You want to file an article of impeachment to get her removed. I mean, I think she's trash, but they want a scalp. So they can't get Hexa. So now they're trying to go after Bondi. And it doesn't matter.
I got these folks.
Oh, by the way, did you hear that? Guess who wrote the legislation that allowed Pete Hegseth to go after those drug boats?
Chuck Schumer.
Yep.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer back in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, you can't make this shit up.
On the run. I got Republicans breaking away in the House, scared to death because their own people are going to lose health care, and there are 35 vulnerable Republicans like, oh, shit, we might lose our jobs, might lose the House. You got Senators, Joni Ernst, not running for re-election. Susan Collins is in trouble in Maine. You've got Republicans cannot find a top candidate running against Ossoff in Georgia. They're scared to death of Roy Cooper in North Carolina. And so why in the hell would I put a report out that's going to lead to massive negative headlines and crapping all damn day when they're catching all the heat? To me, hell, that's called smart politics.
So basically, you're admitting that the Democrats are full of shit that don't have nothing.
Of course.
At the same time, too.
They're a criminal organization, and they're being dismantled. I mean, look, you got state attorney generals now trying to call out corruption. It's just right to turn state evidence ever since what happened in Minnesota. Look, you got the state attorney general in California. They're talking about the homelessness fraud, all right, because you're using federal funds. I think you had a state attorney general in Wisconsin. Okay, she's turning over. Wisconsin and in Michigan. Those two. You got that auditor in Chicago, the white chick. Yeah, she's sitting up here. She's ready to turn state's evidence because they know that this fraud, Trump is not playing. Trump is not playing. They're going to nail all these people. And I know that these governors and mayors think that they're going to get away with it. But there's this thing called blockchain. Do we know what blockchain is? It's your crumbs. It's the paper trail. We don't. Okay, prime example. People don't carry cash nowadays, right? They use digital currency. That's the new wave. They track that. Every single piece of digital currency that's spent, every penny, they know exactly where it went, who it went to, what you spent it on, what that person spent it on, what so forth and so forth and so on. That's blockchain. So they got these people dead to rights. It's just a matter of letting them continue to build evidence against themselves, braid their own lynch rope, and then suddenly FBI come knocking.
By the way, I got 44 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that Cash App, support the show. Hit the Super Chat and support the show.
Help a brother out.
Yeah, in fact, but to be even smarter,
I love it.
They maybe should take a page from the White Nationalist Party. Remember when Barack Obama won re-election in 2012? And they had the autopsy, the GOP autopsy. And the report said, Romney didn't reach out to these minorities and they need to make a kinder, gentler GOP. There was a madman sitting in his golden tower in Manhattan that tweeted out, "That's absurd. You need to double down. Leave that immigration alone." We're talking about immigration reform. That was Donald Trump. Notice how quickly they shut the F up once they quadrupled down on white supremacy and took the White House in 2016. Let's fast forward to now. Ken Martin's on the right road. But to continue on that road, and Reese, thank you, sis, for taking some of our cosplay left friends to the woodshed around Jasmine Crockett, because, you read 2 pages of Karl Marx and all of a sudden you're some kind of genius. And I didn't realize the corpse of Jill Stein was still animated until I see them floating around with some of these.
Now, they mentioned Jill Stein. I'm sorry. I have to point something out. Even if you gave Jill Stein all of Kamala Harris, give all the people that voted for Jill Stein, including you, if I'm not mistaken, if they had given your votes to Kamala Harris, she still would have lost. But they still got Jill Stein's name in their mouths.
Well, Jill Stein said. She said that the Democratic Party is good for stealing their ideas, repackaging and presenting them as their own. The Democratic Party suppresses the Green Party. They intentionally sabotage them.
Yes.
These left websites. But at any rate, the whole point is, at this point, what you don't double down now on, Democrats, is chasing these toothless white voters that ain't never coming back to you. Yep. Now you're going the opposite direction. You go to Mamdani, you go Ken Martin and them. If you're not ready to do that, you need to be quiet. Finally, let's be crystal clear about what we're facing right now.
They're not going to stop going after those white voters. Come on now. That's a pipe dream.
Trump's scared of two things. He's scared of not making as much money as he can. That's number two. Number one, he's scared of the Epstein files. Let's be very clear about all of this. This madman is running crazy.
I'm sorry, who's scared of the Epstein files?
To survive, he
evidently Trump.
Why is he scared of the Epstein files? He's not in them like the way people think he is.
Exactly.
Do anything since we've been probably on air. You see that TikTok now, the deal is
no worry, it's going to get dumber. That's why we're going over it.
Going through. He got his little white supremacist friend, Larry Ellison, and them. They got a little piece of it. A couple other companies got a piece of it. And ByteDance still has a piece of it. Meanwhile, China announced this week they are testing now this huge facility they built to produce the cutting edge semiconductor chips. China go blow past the United States and all them billionaires.
They already have, you dumbass.
They're fools with all the technology. It's just a matter of time. And so in this collapsing entity we call United States of America, the billionaires are raiding the piggy bank. Bozo's trying to stay out of jail and get him $5 on the way out as well. The world is moving on and preparing for a post-American future. And we, trapped in this entity, got two choices. We can pretend like this is business as usual, or we can take a page from the Republicans who said, we're going to go in our direction completely and go in our direction completely. And that means Ken Martin's going to have to probably catch up a little more other than just dead in autopsies. Now, bruh, you need to come on over here with us.
When you're in a media
Pause that. Because this idiot seems to not understand that the reason why the country is a shithole right now is because of criminal democratic leadership.
Yep.
You got Trump bringing jobs back, factory jobs back to America. We're going to be producing our own steel, our own ships, our own warplanes, etc. You got the tariffs, which will eliminate the debt, and we'll be in the black for the first time since Bill Clinton sold the secrets, exchanged the secrets to China and NAFTA, putting our factories in their countries.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting the illegals, especially the criminal ones, but all of them are criminal, but the violent criminal ones. You're getting all of them off the streets. You're deporting them left and right, third world countryers. You're going to get a new Fed chair, which is going to bring the interest rates down. So therefore, homes will be affordable. Groceries will be affordable. Gas is already affordable unless you live on the West Coast because, California fucked it up for everybody with their legislation concerning
environmental environmental slop.
Right. Yeah. They're just overall, they're just screwed. So please tell me what the hell was your Democratic candidates going to do to save America that was different than what Trump is doing? Because from what I see you guys are doing, you're trying to force us into communism through Islamist extremists and people who are used to poverty, socialists, which are the South American illegals. You trying to kill us. Because, white supremacy.
See, what you don't do is invite you getting pimp slapped. And we all know what
y'all gonna get pimp slapped anyway. That's what Roller's not telling y'all. They're gonna get pimp slapped anyway.
What happened? If Ken Martin released this report, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, ABC, NBC,
and we're still pimp slapping your ass. So what's your point?
All be booking James Carville, Paul Begalia, every strategist in the world. What if they do? This was bad. This was awful. You would have nothing but they would knock Republicans off the front page, off the front of the website, off the main line on the stories, and it will all be about how all.
Newsflash, they already been knocked off the front page because y'all got an 18% approval rating.
Thank you.
No, but you don't want to talk about that, do you?
Awful Democrats ran in 2024. We already know that. So, and like people come up to me all the time, and they say, and they're stunned. They say, "Dude, I mean, like you just moved on." I was like, "Yeah, the election was Tuesday. I was focused on 25 on Thursday." And they were like, I don't understand. We're so hurt and depressed. She lost. I said, I'm sorry. I can't sit here and expend energy on losing. My whole deal is, what's the next race? And then what? That's why I was like, no, my mind's on the Wisconsin.
See, that's one of the reasons I ain't been back to church too, because too many people talk about these people are going to regret they vote for Trump. And I was like, I don't have time for this shit.
Supreme Court race. No, my mind is on those constitutional amendments in Louisiana. No, my mind is on this mayoral race and this race and this race. I'm like, yo, you can get caught up in that. And then people come up to me, Reese, I know that happens to you as well. Reese, who's going to be the nominee in 28? Fool, we sit in 25. Right. I tell everybody, I ain't talking 28.
Because you ain't got nobody for 28. That's why you're talking 28.
I ain't talking 27. I'm not talking 26.
Hell, you don't have anybody for 26 either. But anyway,
we're gonna finish out 25.
Nobody for 36.
And then after the holidays, we're focusing on the primaries that are coming up in March, in April, and May. We're gonna deal with those, and then once the primary is over, in those primaries, then we're gonna deal with the Florida primary, which is in August, and the other one's in August. And then
you do understand. I don't know if y'all know this, but right now, this whole gerrymandering situation has been turned over to the Supreme Court, which they have yet to rule on. If the Supreme Court rules that gerrymandering is illegal based on race, because that's what started it all, it was based on racial politics. If they rule it illegal based on race, you know how many seats the Democrats will lose? Just based on that alone, where they have to redraw the maps to fit, fit the populace, they'll lose 20 seats. They'll lose 20 seats. And then they'll have to literally win elections instead of rigging elections, because that's what gerrymandering is. You're rigging elections. So if you can no longer rig these elections, the Democrats are done. They're done.
After that, we're going to deal with November. That's where the focus has to be.
Right. Well, first of all, Republicans are getting their asses kicked right now.
Yeah.
So why the hell would we sit up here and change the motherfucking topic?
You don't.
Where are they getting their asses kicked at? Where?
You don't put a life jacket. You go, I'm gonna let your ass drown.
Yeah, and the reality is we're in a different world than whatever political calculations these dumb motherfuckers made when they stayed their asses at home or when they switched over to vote. Bitch, welcome to Trump Crow.
Wow, you really thought you ate with that, didn't you?
It is a whole lot fucking worse than your complaints about Biden is inflation is high. Oh, inflation is even higher and it's not going down. And so
that's because of Biden.
The results that we've been living in over the past 11 months aren't enough of a wake-up call to those 7 million fuckers, to those 89 million fuckers, to the 75 million fuckers.
So your bright idea is to talk shit to the people who didn't think your candidate was good enough to vote for and think they're going to come out and vote for you?
Yeah.
What they call themselves, the most educated? My ass cheeks.
Didn't it work for Tiffany Cross when she said stop listening to Tariq Nasheed? Didn't it work for her? Goddamn plantation.
Then what the hell is a goddamn PD?
I'll hit my cash app and support the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. It ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. So moving right along, figure the shit out how it works best in your particular race. But I'm actually happy that Ken Martin recognized that.
So you think talking shit to people who didn't vote for you is going to make them vote for you?
Like your boy said, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be
right.
In addition to what it gives the media to do in terms of changing the subject, because they don't really want to talk about how fucked up Donald Trump is. They really want to talk about Democrats.
Yep.
I'm glad that he didn't really take the bait. And I personally don't want to hear shit about the Ohio white voter. I don't want to hear anything about that. And so I'm interested in listening to the people who have a
solution for getting. Y'all do know Ohio wasn't always a red state, right?
Yeah, it can go either way, but trust me, that sucker is freaking
it's
deep
dark red
red
now because of people like this.
Yeah.
Getting our disaffected and disillusioned voters off the damn couch. I'm interested in people who want to reach the black voters off the damn couch. Listening to the people who have a solution for getting our disaffected and disillusioned voters off the damn couch.
And you think you're getting your disaffected and delusional voter off the damn couch by talking shit to him? Smart. Oh, you smart.
I'm interested in people who want to reach the black voters that stayed home because something didn't resonate with them or because they were effectively.
She wasn't fit to be president. No, Kamala Harris didn't resonate with them. What? How was Kamala Harris supposed to resonate with them? She couldn't even answer a damn question.
Well, she offered black men a finger up their ass and a joint.
Targeted with disinformation. I mean, and other propaganda. That's what I'm interested.
What disinformation? I watched most of her interviews. She wasn't fit to be president. As she watched her interviews to see what she was about, she was not fit to be president.
In having, we should be having a project 2028, a project 2026, a project. What the fuck we gonna do for the next 15 days? That's what I want to see, not a goddamn rehashing of what happened in the election. We lost. Get over it. Elections have consequences. So yes, kudos to Ken Martin. You could talk.
Yes, you lost to a 34 convicted felon. Get over it. I agree.
Talk about transparency, all that shit. It don't fucking.
Yeah, they act like it's an insult to say, "Oh, he's a 34 convicted felon." Yeah, you still
that's been overturned. People don't want to talk about that. That was overturned a couple months ago in the appellate court.
What's done is done. What are we going to do to move forward? And guess what? That moving forward does not look like telling black women, telling black people to go to the back.
Well, I still use it. Fuck it. Yeah, I voted for a 34 convicted felon, and you still lost to him. What does that say about your candidate? I like fuck it. I'll use it again. I'm like, yeah, I voted for the convicted felon, and you still lost to him. So, considering you lost to him, what does that say about your candidate? I mean, I'm just saying.
Back of the bus, you're a great white hope candidate. Everybody's going to have to compete, and good luck on activating the people that are actually reliable Democratic voters, and good luck on getting people who have felt completely left out of the system to the ballot box. If you can do that, you can win. You ain't got to worry about who else is running. Your ass can win.
That's right. That's right.
So, Joy, you have to follow. That was like 11 F words, and there were 3 MFs. Yeah.
You got his nerve counting.
Yeah, it was that man. Like when you hit like 6, I was like, I got to start counting. Then it was like
my bad.
Another one, then another one, then another. So can't none of y'all send me no emails about me cussing.
Oh, I get all the hate mail for you. I get all the hate. I get everybody on my ass, and
that was 3 F words and 3 MFs. 11 F words and 3 MFs. Joy, you got to follow that.
Fuck it, it's the end of the year. Now, listen, here's the only thing that Ken Martin could have improved upon. I wouldn't have even released it. I wasn't releasing it. I mean, he didn't even really owe us all of that. And let's be clear, just because they're not releasing it doesn't mean they're not learning from it.
Oh, the tired old Negroes say, "Oh, the Democrats don't need to tell us nothing. We'll just blindly kiss their ass anyway." Who's coming up?
These are your friends.
They ain't my friends. What's going on, Louis?
What's up?
Did you bring the snacks?
Yes, I did. Is you over your little boo-boo?
What?
Your little sniffles?
Oh, me? Yeah. I mean, my throat's still sore, but I've been doing better. That porcelain shrine, you know.
Oh, gave many tributes to the goddess?
Yes.
I had to fire someone and suspend another one today.
Oh, damn. Is that the one where you where you had to get off the phone?
Oh no, this is a different one.
Okay.
Goofy motherfucker was stealing. So
Yeah.
yeah, right before Christmas. Merry Christmas. You're fired.
Don't they know they put that shit in a database and they know?
He got his present early.
Yeah, well.
Oh damn, it's the 21st already?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the American people need are results. What we want from the DNC is an actionable plan. We don't need to all discuss it. We need them to discuss it.
You're holding your breath for a plan from the DNC? Really? They sold you a dementia patient and an incompetent AKA last time around.
They do have a plan. Trump bad. Trump racist. That's the plan.
Pretty much.
We want them to do it. We want them to get us wins on the books. Forget transparency. Forget all of this, whatever. Wins on the books. Hook or crook, however you do it. That's what we want. And we all have discussed here what's winning. Zohran Mamdani is winning in New York. We have Abigail Spanberger winning in Virginia.
All Democrat states. So how you gonna win in them red states?
But what they are all doing are focusing on what people want to see. They want to see increased earnings, decreased costs. They want to see improved lives for them and their family. It's just that simple. They want to be able to go and know that their vote is going to be counted and not wait all day. They want a society that works for them. There's just nothing else beyond that. That's what they want. That's what the Democrats are asking for.
Yep.
That's what moderates are asking for. That's what they need to deliver. And so talking about it, creating headlines that are distractions and are just fodder for the Jake Tappers of the world really would not.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't talk about Jasmine Crockett like that.
Hey, B.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
All right, this is alternate universe. We play an armchair DNC chairman.
Okay.
If you was in charge of the DNC, what would be your strategy for the midterms and the primary election in 2028?
2028. First, without question, fire all the Democrat consultants, and make sure they never influence another election ever again. Second, I would write down Democrat policy stuff that we stand for, and just make that abundantly clear over the next 2 or 3 years till we get to 2028.
Now, all right, the reason why I'm asking, because with the failure of last election, and you can be or the orange man or you want, but the fact of the matter is that the people have spoken.
Yes.
I think it's time for the DNC to leave identity politics.
Yes. Oh, it's been yeah. They should have done that last year, but
they need to listen to the people, everybody, because what is good for everybody, everybody's going to benefit. Even, excuse me, the so-called marginalized groups in this country. If everybody.
Yes. We all in this together in the long run. So yeah, they have to leave this identity politics crap by the wayside. But I know they're not going to do it. But anyway,
well, they need them. They have to play that card because they need these illegals, as well as black folks. They need an army. You understand? They need an army. That's why they're harping on it so hard.
What we already know is that they did not invest properly in the communities that have been the Democratic base. They just didn't do it, and they didn't. Yeah, they just didn't do that, and they got to do more.
Hey,
you knuckleheads are just now figuring that out.
I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I got a text message yesterday. I ain't gonna name the person. Person's black, and sent me this. Hey, we want to send some House candidates your way on your show. I said, y'all sending checks? I said, let me be real clear. The DCCC didn't spend any money on ads in 2024. The DSCC didn't spend any money on ads in 2024. The House Majority PAC, the Senate Majority PAC spent zero on ads on Black Star Network. Oh, and I know they gave
Why is that a problem? Why is that their problem?
The Sinclair, Comcast, Disney, Fox. I mean, I can name Nexstar, all the companies. And I made it clear, don't send me no names if y'all ain't advertising. Because guess what? This infrastructure that we built, and just understand, I've hired 3 people in the past week. I'm about to make a big hire for BlackStarNetwork.com in the next week. All that stuff costs money. So see, we ain't playing this game. We ain't playing this game because, you know, I stay my ass at home. There's a whole lot I can talk about right here from the studio, as opposed to getting on the road and traveling around the country and disrupting my sleep and eating patterns because we out there. But again,
oh, you mean going to Golden Corral every other day? Anyway,
folk need to understand something. We ain't playing no games. And see, I ain't gonna sit here and have conversation with the folk in the 3rd week of October about are y'all gonna spend anything. Let's just be real clear where I stand on that. And for all you Simple Simon Negroes out there who like, you got to check, you got to check, you got to check. Well, guess what? They gonna run ads on iHeartRadio. They gonna run ads on Urban One. They're going to run ads on Cumulus. They're going to run ads on all these media companies. It is projected that next year, the 2026 election, $10 to $12 billion is going to be spent on the 2026 midterms. Black-owned media, stop acting like a crumb is a meal. That's why a whole bunch of black-owned media people.
Well, you act like a motor crumbs a meal, so what do you expect?
Right now are suffocating. Look like they got emphysema because
you know what he's really saying?
You
know what he's really saying? He's saying, pour yourself out to the Democratic Party. Take the check. Tell them you'll spit their rhetoric for a check. That's what he did with Kamala.
Keep sitting here promising you meetings, and that's all you get paid in is meetings. So we ain't gonna do that. I'm letting y'all know. And let me be real clear before I go to break. This ain't just politics. I've said to Netflix, Apple TV, Prime Video, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Stars, Showtime, HBO, do not call me trying to get celebrities.
They don't want your ass
to promote a new show y'all got.
They don't want you.
Nigga, they don't want you. Those are conservative networks outside of Netflix.
Y'all unwilling to advertise. Because if y'all value my audience enough to want to promote the show and the celebrity to them, then y'all should be cutting a check as well. Because I could talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, then talk to y'all celebrity. So again, that's the difference when you have integrity and decency and principles where you say, you're not going to play me small.
I hate this guy.
Or as
What the hell is he wearing?
Snipes said in the movie Rising Sun, wrong Negro, wrong century.
I hate this guy.
This is your chance to own a piece.
Okay, that's enough of that. Ugh.
He is so goddamn stupid. He is so goddamn stupid.
They playing with
He's so goddamn stupid at what?
He's just so stupid. He's just stupid.
Oh, no said I.
I mean, seriously, what did he say that was intellectually sound? What did he say that was intellectually sound?
Not a goddamn thing.
Give me money.
Better cut me a check. That's all he had to say. I was like, all right.
Understand? Shout out to Phil because he pointed this out. When you hear Roland Martin talk about funding black media, he's talking about himself. He ain't talking about nobody else. He's talking
Of
about
course.
all the stuff he talking about himself. He ain't talking about real black media. He ain't talking about getting savvy money or anything like that.
What?
He ain't talking
Can I
about getting.
something right quick?
Go ahead.
What I think Roland Martin said, like, but unfortunately, it's a little too late. Like, I agree with him. You should be spending with black-owned businesses, but you know what? Over the past decades, and me and Bay always talked a lot about this on the phone in private.
Yeah.
About the situation with the political climate, and I said it plenty of times on your panel. It's almost a little too late because you should have been demanding this when you was the dominant minority in this country.
Yes.
As in the words of the great immortal David Carroll used to always say. But we're no longer the dominant minority. You know who could command that? Hispanic-owned media.
Mm-hmm.
They could command those prices because right now they are in a position in this country that can heavily sway an election either way.
Yes.
Whoever they back. We used to have that position, but you want to shuck and jive, vote blue no matter who. You got to be a Democrat. So they took your black ass for granted and you get what you deserve.
Yes.
This right here is like a lesson learned, like, you know, for the future. Like, hey, when you're in that position, it don't last forever. And you got to wield that hammer of power.
Yeah, it
But
may not last forever for the Latinos. Who knows? It may not last forever for the Latinos. What y'all gonna do then?
But here's the thing, though: when you have the hammer of power and you don't wield it, you don't deserve to have it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Legal Latinos are not voting Democrat, although 60% of female Latinas voted Democrat. We don't know how many of them were legal or not. When you look at our voting block,
they ain't voting for Democrat either. So
right, if you look at our voting block, we're 92 and 77%, and she still got blown out. And we're not even counting the ones that decided to vote the couch. They don't stand a chance until they you really want to know how the Democrats can get back to winning elections. Start reaching across the aisle and find out if you can get these factory jobs coming in here. See if you can get them in your cities. Start getting rid of the illegals. Start turning these fuckers in. Reach across the aisle and do what's best for Americans, not your criminal organization political party. Be like John Fetterman.
And you know what, Bay? I'm glad you mentioned that. That's why I fucks with you. No Diddy. You mentioned the labor. Who usually is always in the pockets with the Democrats for the most part? These fucking labor unions, right?
Yep. Labor unions, police unions.
Why not just go fucking lobbyists and send them to Capitol Hill and get a piece of this pie that's coming?
Correction, labor union leaders, not the members.
Yeah, Thank you for the correction, but you know what I was saying though, like the heads.
Yes,
because they're the ones that say we're back in this candidate or that candidate. Yeah.
Those unions. The problem though is a lot of those, those special interest groups, they fund both sides, and there's a reason for that. And let's not forget that, you want to bring factory jobs to certain places. Are those organizations, those business organizations, going to pay those people affordable wages?
Yes, that's the deal. That's the whole deal. That's why you can't hire illegals. Why do you think they got rid of all those South Koreans down here in Georgia working at that Hyundai plant. All their paperwork was dirty. So they got rounded up and then they got deported back to South Korea.
And what happened to Hyundai?
Huh?
And what happened to Hyundai? Didn't they shut down that plant?
Nothing. They're still building that plant. They invested billions of dollars. They're not gonna pull up stakes.
I can't even hear Neymar.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear.
Hang on a second.
Probably because you black.
I'm half black.
What the fuck does that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
Nothing.
You can hear.
He's fucking around. He's beige, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my race joke. Always since black men are always getting blamed for everything. So Lewis can't hear you because you black.
Yeah.
You get the joke now?
You know, y'all know this country's motto.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
I guess she needs to clear her throat, huh? She'll get back with us.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I really do hope she got the death penalty for what she did.
Who?
That chick.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
For what?
She killed her kids. That liquid covering her, that's blood. She lost custody of her children. So she stabbed her children to death. That's blood that's on her. Show it again. Show it again so you can see it. Please.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Yeah, you see that little blur? That's blood.
Oh, so that's the backstory. That's this heifer took out her kids because she'd rather her kids be dead than to give them to the father.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should have been all earlier. These heifers now over on here talking about they don't want to be with a man because they would rather stay at home and be musty. And they talking about we're mad about that, and I'm like,
what home? You about to lose that home because you're about to lose all your benefits. You're getting exercise from the job market. So what home?
Hey, if there was one way to describe you, it would have to be from Snowman's show. The character Ray would say, he was a pom-pom waver and a hi-hi-hider.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Me neither. But
you don't remember the wait. No, AB, you don't remember the character Ray from LJBN?
No.
What?
On Snowman in the Morning.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm tired and I have to get up in the morning. So unfortunately, fellas.
Right.
All
right.
Later. I'd like to thank everybody that came through. Remember, guard your image, guard your peace, and keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. And you hit my Cash App and support the show while you're at it. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.